Studio One, this is the Breakfast Show.
Fundamental Baptist Church International.
But we're not even looking at the act itself. We're looking at the repercussion, the effects of galamsey on our water bodies. And so traveling from Apiate in the western region towards Accra, we decided to sample every water body on the way just to show the effect of it, because we have seen firsthand what is ongoing. And so right next to me is a bottle containing water fetched from here. And this is the Bonsa River. Of course, children around the river don't have a choice. It's a Sunday morning, and if there's nothing to do, a swim in the river wouldn't be bad. And so, yes, they are having a dip in the water. But what these kids don't know is this water isn't just a dirty water. It is a contaminated water from chemicals washed into the water from the activity of galamsey. This really is not the best. And if you can see in the distance, I see a young man very well having a shower, not necessarily bathing inside the water, but with a cup scooping the water and pouring over himself. This is a young man having a shower, enjoying the water as anybody else will do. And that in itself isn't one that can be overlooked because it is really the worry is the contamination in the water that is causing the problem. And that is what nationally there must be a concise effort to deal with, or else this can become something else for us. We're still traveling from Apiate towards Accra, and we will be sampling all the water bodies on the way to tell the story of how galamsey really is changing the state of our water bodies. This water body, 2 years ago when I was here, wouldn't be this muddy. But today, nothing to write home about, really. It has gone from bad in that state 2 years ago to worse as it is today. And still, there are those who would say that Galamsey really isn't something we should worry about. Well, I don't know about you, but I am worried because this water isn't staying with the people of Bonsa in the Western region. It would travel all the way through till eventually it finds itself in a water body that supplies water to the nearest water treatment plant where you are. And that is really the problem. Let's all work together to stop it, nip it in the bud once and for all. Yes, it's taken 2 years, but we can still do something about it. And so our journey from Apiete near Bogoso, as I mentioned earlier, took us through parts of Afamasa Kotom, Onyipehiam, Boa, Akukubidi Bro. We came to Bonsa, and right after Bonsa, we journeyed west towards south. Again, so we came to a town called Ewusejo, where the river Butre travels down south into the sea. Interesting, but unfortunate it will be that the water in Ewusejo is no different from what we encountered around Bonsa. I am going to get into the water and fetch a bit to show the difference between that and what we fetched from the Bonsa water body. And here I go, dip down into the water, and I have a cap full. And this is what I am scooping up to show my cameras what it is. You may not agree that Galamsey has a certain effect because on your pocket, Galamsey has been really very kind to you. But spare a thought for the many who live along the banks of these water bodies who depend on them for a livelihood. Again, I'd want to show you a certain sharp contrast between what is rainwater collected close to the Ewusejo water as it flows down south. And if this is rainwater collected, which should make its way back for the rocks next to them, it would have made its way into the main water and flowed down south with it. And this, to my left, as you can see, is what Galamsey has done to it. Then one wonders what would have happened if this rainwater had gone through the mainstream and flown down south without the effect of Galamsey on the water. You may not be worried about it, but I am. You may not care, but I do. And Ghana does. And so, even more is the urgent call to put a stop to this. This cannot be water. Remember, a child born 5 years ago may never have the opportunity to see the water as clean as I showed earlier, as collected to the side of the rock by rainfall. What that means is we have denied this child a good opportunity to depend on this water as their grandparents did years ago. Maybe their parents did, but they would never have the opportunity, thanks to Galamsey. Uncle Pocho, Bozin Chemkaka. Wudin Mawaziphobia. Andrews Okran. Andrews, you will say Josies here, a Hanifi. Pocho, you see, if your man the name Mortina, or to then.
I make your man the name Mortina, I am a fair.
Bantin is your fair, my name, your fetching data.
Oh, that person, no actions now, one can say a book, I'm Bernardo.
What do you see with that?
Oh, make one with that. Bernardo, well, when you're a number now, so now. And I'm different. Oh, well, Ben, the man at the movie here, then. Name your charge all the same. At this time, you move to Papa.
And see, say, Egwami does not know about to my bade, and Musuda.
Manu Mukuda.
See, say, make a day, and my fraba woman, and the 1 year, the me quino, now won't see ma na yi ma ote no oda kwagin a enyim ya adwen
no ya adwen pa no ya adwen
ye fi bogoso na ye bepui ha yeyim kire akra na ye hwe insunsu ahura ye hye okwem na ma ote adzukor na ibodu biara wo budin oni galamsey ewuse edwo ha wo ye galamsey wa ha
esojo ha wo ye galamsey ni land
munyi land
ni land wo ye galamsey
nti ibi wa ye ni galamsey na no nsunsado wa abotio wa hede no otewoden wa dwen madami pokro no otedan
dami anmo obenda ma mamu de mpenfu na nkasa na wo dami ekro ni tim one wash me adwuma ne yede okọ because me shampatu na mamelka no e sha pam dun su na otu se bia e bo hwe na msunim na ide enda 3 days mo cut town mo cut nsu nu kwagin
oya apramdo
okay nsu na oda wana
okay
muju wana nu kwagin na no why do otu mo break for the water and so what the then why you adwuma won otu mo break or that side na esoje obutire no ho no otu mo break adwuma no no kire ho na adwuma no penfu na nkasa wa yeden
waka ho medase
onye easy
medase
ke adwuma ho nsunu
menyiwa je papa de egbe nya menyiwa achem na che de sempiyinfu waka won ho ye ya de ma di butie nenyim basan wa adafom biom wow inti ami madwini ya mi de insu na wato na kakra wa kan na na wato no ho efi iyim nti munzi ho agokra na za ahoro wow na za
yankada nsu ni yu oye bad ye pay na won
inti wow so I've been engaging Mr. Okran, who's giving me a good background to the water, whereas I thought earlier that the little I saw on the side was water collected or rainwater collected to the side. No is what he's just told me. Actually, this is part of the main water body, but this has separated itself from the stream flowing downstairs. And so when they come to have a shower in the main water, they end up scooping a bit of that to wash their body once again from the filth collected from the main stream. Not just washing, but also when they wash their clothes, they use that to rinse it in order to have the clothes back in the state in which they formerly had it. Really, for me, it's a pain to think that the water itself, nature has separated it to tell the story of what it would have been if some work is done in halting Galamsey. Ewusejo doesn't have land, and so they don't do Galamsey. The people who live here once depended on this water. Now they have to depend on Ghana water to produce water for them. How long are we going to continue doing this to ourselves? When are we going to say enough is enough and put a stop to Galamsey? It will take you and myself to ensure that our leaders really stand up and get counted. Our journey continues down south.
Live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Treat prostate problems. Afro
Asylum Down in Accra. Thank you for the support that you continue to throw away. For the best in musical equipment, head over to Virtual Sounds Lab at Asylum Down. I'm Selma Taki. Thank you for making the time. We talk breastfeeding now. First week in August each year is dedicated to the global celebration of breastfeeding and highlighting the importance for mothers, babies, and the society. This year, the theme is Closing the Gap. Breastfeeding supports for all. To help us understand why this theme was chosen and what's been done this year to mark World Breastfeeding Week, we have at the table Dr. Mame Araba Akwa, a pediatric resident at the Department of Child Health, wearing the lovely pink. Mame, thank you for making the time. And Felicia Mankwa is a senior midwifery officer at the Obstetric and Gynecology Department at the Kolibu Teaching Hospital in Crystal White. Hi, ladies. Thank you for making the time. So, breastfeeding, I think we pretty much know what it's about, but help us situate it. What is breastfeeding and what are the common mistakes mothers are making that you would want to use this week to highlight? I'll start with Doc.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, this year, like we said, or like you rightly said, that we are trying to close the gap by providing support to all breastfeeding mothers. So, the closing the gap means we are trying to create the arena that is suitable for all breastfeeding mothers, ensuring that they apply the right breastfeeding techniques, making sure that we debunk all the myths that surround breastfeeding, and making sure that all healthcare facilities are welcoming for all their questions surrounding breastfeeding. So that's actually the meaning for the theme this year. Okay.
Madam Midwife, I mean, you talk women through right from the time they report with pregnancy until they put to bed and then the few weeks and months after. What have you identified to be the biggest obstacles to breastfeeding?
Okay, thank you very much. So the biggest obstacle we are having is mothers attaching their babies to breasts. They have the challenge of breastfeeding the babies, supporting, attaching their babies to breast. So what we are trying to do this week is that we want to teach them what they are supposed to do so that they'll be able to have the time, relax, and then breastfeed their babies well. Yeah.
So demonstrate it for us. What are they getting wrong? Why that difficulty? Because you'll think that if the mother holds the baby a certain way and puts the breast in the baby's mouth, then mission accomplished. Isn't it as easy as that?
Yeah. Okay, so when a mother wants to breastfeed, first of all, what we do as midwives is that we build their confidence, which is very important. Because if you don't have the confidence in breastfeeding, you think you are not doing it right. So the right positioning, that is sitting down well, making sure that your feet is well supported, the baby is brought closer to you. Most of the time, mothers rather go to the baby, they bend, and then they tend to have backache. But we are saying that babies rather should come to you, the mother. Baby approaches the breast, and not you rather bending, giving the breast milk to the baby. So if I have a baby, I support the baby. I support the baby by sitting well. Baby bottles should be in my palm. The head should be at the elbow, and then the stomach should be touching me. So I should be comfortably seated. Once you are comfortably seated, you are able to breastfeed for a very long time. But when you are not comfortable, you struggle with the baby, and that is one of the things that mothers find it challenging when they are breastfeeding.
Doc, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, so the little I want to add on to what the midwife has said is that breastfeeding is actually a divine skill. So divine skill. Yeah, it's a divine skill.
Holy Spirit inspired.
So right from the onset, when the baby comes in, because of the hormones in the body, the baby crawls towards the breast, and no one teaches the baby how to breastfeed or like attach to the breast. So it's actually a divine skill supported by hormones. And so if you do it very well, you see the benefits in a child.
Well, we got some demonstrations on our screen, and I would like you to talk us through what we just saw when it comes to what works and what doesn't for breastfeeding. So the first picture, describe to us what we are seeing there.
Okay, so these are techniques that can be carried out during breastfeeding. So we have a baby, you can breastfeed while the baby is standing, and that is for babies above 6 months or close to a year. Or close to 2 years. And you can have a baby while sitting down. You can have a baby on your hand, usually recommended for babies less than 6 months.
Okay.
So we are not, even though sitting down is the right position, you can actually lie down, like the fourth picture is depicting. You can actually lie down and then breastfeed the baby.
Is that safe?
It's safe, but it's not safe for mothers who have a bigger breast, because you can actually suffocate the child whilst doing the breastfeeding. And then you can actually exclusively breastfeed your twins. Many people have the belief that if you have twins, then you should move on to formula, but that's not we want to debunk that, because I mean, I actually admire these head porters who have twin children, and then you see them happily breastfeeding their children in a very nice way. It's really, really nice. And then you can actually breastfeed a child supported by the pillow. You can breastfeed. So there are so many techniques. The only thing is that make sure that your breast is closer to the child, and your child, it's not causing pain to you, and it's also not causing any kind of discomfort to the child.
Do all types of breasts produce the same amount of milk? So if I want to produce more milk, should I have bigger breasts?
Okay, so producing breast milk does not depend on the size of the breast. The size of the breast does not matter. They all produce the same milk. So some other mothers have this mindset that if I have a bigger breast, it means I'm producing more. If I have a smaller breast, then the milk is small, so it will not be enough for my baby. So all breasts produce the same.
And is the quality the same as well?
It's the same. The quality is the same.
So in the lead up to, you know, having the baby, of course, healthy eating habits are advised and all that. What do you tell people, mothers who have just started breastfeeding, when it comes to diet? What should they do and what should they not do?
Okay, so I think I'll talk about what they are supposed to do. So as mothers or as new mothers, you need to relax. And if you don't know, try as much as possible to ask the experienced ones. And then make sure that you take in a lot of water before, during, and after the breastfeeding. Make sure you take in a lot of water. And then in Ghana, I mean, once the mother is put to bed, they start preparing a lot of soups, including palm nut soups and light soups and all that. So make that your routine meal during that process. Yeah, more soups. Taking a lot of cereals, especially oats, granuts. Taking granuts, and then there are these seeds that really help with breast milk production. Fenugreek seeds. Yeah, it's believed it's kind of stony, but it's very good. And then there's another seed that I forgot. It looks like thyme. You can actually boil it, and it's very good for weight loss as well. And so if you're a breastfeeding mother who is aiming to go back to how you look during your heydays, you can actually do exclusive breastfeeding, and I bet you really look. If you don't take care, you can even give birth. You can actually get pregnant by the 6th month.
We'll talk about whether that's advisable or not another time. But those are the do's. What about the don'ts? What should you not do when you are breastfeeding?
Okay, so when you are breastfeeding, one thing is stress. Stress, when you think so much and you are stressed out, we have this hormone called prolactin. You suppress it because that is what produces the breast milk. So stress, worry, anxiety, all suppresses breast production. So as much as you can as a mother, just be in a relaxed mood. Do not think so much. And when you begin to think and get worried, you will not have the amount of breast milk being produced that the baby needs, because stress suppresses it. And we are also saying that the family should also support the mothers, because once they are supported and they get the needed help, that stress is off them, and then they are able to relax and then breastfeed for a very long time. So stress is one of the factors. And like Doc said, when they say eat more, does not mean you eat so much bulky and then grow out of proportion. But your diet should be balanced. You have your carbohydrates, your protein, everything. It should be well balanced so that you get the needed nutrients and the strength that you need.
Does irregular sleep affect breast production or milk production for the baby? Inadequate sleep?
Yes, so inadequate sleep also affects the milk production. So I think we have this local adage that says when a baby sleeps, you should also sleep. Well, that's the ideal thing, but it's not. Sometimes it's really not practical. So ideally, sleep is very, very good, and that's why we are actually emphasizing on the support system that a breastfeeding mother really needs during that journey. So support system whereby the husband also supports the mother in other aspects of her roles in the house. All other family members are also supporting the mother so that she totally relaxes. You realize that there are sometimes some mothers working in the kitchen and then they take their breasts on the side to the mother and all that. Yeah, it actually affects the breast milk production. So all breastfeeding mothers are supposed to really, really relax. They are supposed to really relax.
We've come a long way from the good old days where, we're only stuck with the old ways of doing things. Now, with the help of technology, what new things have become available for mothers that want to breastfeed, but then want to do it in an advanced way so that the baby can get enough milk, they can make effective use of their time, and everybody is happy?
Okay, so technology, as you said, has helped a lot. We are saying that it's not only putting the baby to breast, that is only breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is giving the baby solely breast milk without food or water. So you can equally express it as well, so that you'll be able to breastfeed for the 6 months that we are talking about. So you can express and give it via spoon and then cup and spoon. You can feed the baby through cup and spoon. Sometimes you realize that work does not permit you to put the baby to breast because you need to go to work as a working mother. You can express it and then put it in the fridge for 4 days, room temperature for 4 hours, and in the deep freezer for 6 to 1 year.
Go over that again. You can keep it in the fridge for 4 days.
Yes.
Room temperature for 4 hours.
And then in the deep freezer for 6 months to a year. So how do you go about this? When you express the milk, you need to get a tight fitting lid. Breast milk, you can get these Ziplocs, this containers, smaller containers with a tight lid, and then make sure that the ones that you express first is what you give to the baby. It should be well labeled. So if I express today, and then maybe I express next week, I should use the one I expressed today based on the label and the date that I have.
So you write the date on it. If it's the 7th of August, you write 7th August 24, so you know that this is the 7th one, this is the 8th, and this is...
Yes. So you feed the baby based on what you express first. So even when you are going to work, you will still be able to do the 6 months that we are talking about. Okay, someone can also support you, let's say a help, who is supposed to take care of the baby whilst you are away. You are supposed to teach her what she's supposed to do. And one thing that we are saying to her is that when you bring this milk out of the fridge or the freezer, do not microwave the feed. Do not microwave the feed, because when you microwave it, it loses its nutrients and then it forms hot spots which will burn the tongue of the baby.
Don't microwave
the milk. You can put it down for it to thaw. After thawing, warm water, a warm bowl, and then you place the breast milk in the container inside for it to melt before you give it to the baby. You check the temperature also before you give it to her.
Is it safe in the freezer with all our other stuff? Because in the freezer we have our kotoje and everything in there. Is it safe to keep everything in there with the breast milk?
No. So like she rightly said, it's best stored in a Ziploc bag. When you go to the mother care shops, you can actually get them being sold out to you. And so when you get them and you pour your milk in there with right labeling, you get a nice bowl, tightly sealed, and then you store these breast packs inside. And then you store it in the section in the freezer where you don't have your onions, you don't have your, because it can easily contaminate it and then bring a lot of issues to you. Yeah.
We talk about support, and we know the support that our extended family, even if it's not the father of the baby or the husband or the spouse, is giving to the child. How should we regulate this support? Because sometimes our mothers tend to be a bit stuck in their ways. And when it comes to issues about breastfeeding and the first few days of a baby's life, they seem to have a lot of say. What kind of support do you offer to mothers who struggle, you know, adhering to your rules, the do's and don'ts that you say, and the do's and don'ts that our mothers say have stood the test of time, and they've always worked, and they did it for us and we didn't die, and so they should do it for the grandchildren as well?
So, it's quite a challenge for us as health workers, because sometimes the mothers come to the hospital, and then you make sure that they are well educated on breastfeeding and all other topics, and then when they go home, you have their in-laws also telling them something, and even telling them that the doctors don't know what they're about. So sometimes it's quite challenging. And so what I advise is that when you are caught up with such situation, I would suggest you bring them to the hospital. Most times we actually create a very good arena for them. We want to, funny enough, sometimes what they say, what these old people say, sometimes also benefits us, so that when we are giving our education, we can rightly hit the nail on its head. And so bring them to the hospital. And so that's actually the main issue, or the main concept of this year's breastfeeding week. We're trying to close the gap. So we want to understand you so that you understand us. We want to create or give support to everyone, every healthcare facility, every health worker, so that they really understand and promote the benefits of breastfeeding to all.
Okay. I think I'm saving the benefits of breastfeeding for last, so that we you know, end it on a very high note. But elsewhere, in other countries, the stigma of publicly breastfeeding babies exists. Do we have such in Ghana, where people are very upset when they see a mother out and about, you know, breastfeeding in public?
In Ghana, I don't think it is so, because our mothers love to breastfeed their babies. And then, so when a baby is crying, you could realize that you'll be sitting in a car and the mother will just bring out the breast and start breastfeeding her baby. We have exceptions, but that challenge is not here as compared with the other parts of the world.
And non-breastfeeding moms also face a lot of stigma. So for the women who, for one reason or the other, cannot breastfeed, they tend to, you know, catch a lot of heat, especially on social media, people saying, oh, why are you bottle feeding the baby? Why are you giving formula and all that? How do you navigate some of those challenges with new moms who, for some reason, are unable to breastfeed?
So we actually have lactation specialists and consultants here in Ghana. They are quite few, but I think in Kolebu we have skilled workers who usually sort out these mothers who are not able to breastfeed. And so sometimes I always tell them that it's your journey. And so just forget about whatever everyone is saying. It could be that you are having a structural issue in your breast, or you are having a medical issue, or you're having a psychological issue that we think that it may pose harm to the baby. And so forget about whatever someone is saying behind your back, and then it's your journey. It's you and your baby. So just go ahead with that.
So if a baby loses the mother, if a family loses the mother of a baby at birth or at some point when the child is breastfeeding, what are the options available? I'm guessing formula, but how are these introduced to the baby, and how do we do it safely?
Okay, so a baby has lost the mom. With the formula, you need to teach them how it's done, how to dilute it, because when it's done, maybe when the dilution is not done well, the baby will not get the nutrients that she needs. So you need to also teach them how to sterilize the equipment that they are using, the cup and spoon and the bottles and other things. It should be well taught, because when it's not done well, the reason why we are saying exclusive breastfeeding is that the breast milk itself has some antibodies and that protects the baby. So this is an exception. That is why we are talking about formula. Yeah. So in formula, they should be well taught how to sterilize the equipment, how to dilute and mix the milk and everything, so that the baby does not get infection and then also have diarrhea or constipation.
Let's talk about the benefits of breastfeeding. What does it do for mom and baby?
Okay, so with the benefits of breastfeeding, they are enormous, a lot. So for the mother, it's a family planning method for the mother. Yes. When you breastfeed without adding food nor water exclusively for 6 months, it serves as a family planning method.
So it has never happened that anyone who's exclusively breastfeeding got pregnant?
It does.
It does, but
what are the percentages? So yeah.
Well, I can't. I don't have any percentage in mind.
But largely.
But largely, it really protects.
Okay.
Yeah.
More benefits.
So as for the when we talk about breastfeeding, like she rightly said, there's enormous benefits of breastfeeding. So it's an opportunity to bond with your child. And breastfeeding or breast milk is affordable, accessible, and then it's readily available, unlike other option where you have to purchase formula like two cans in the month. And you know the economy now, it's really, it's economy. The economy is economy everyone. Yeah. So make sure that you do the right thing by breastfeeding your child.
Right.
And also, it also reduces the risk of ovarian and other female-related cancers. And so breastfeeding is very, very good. It also helps protect the child to prevent diarrhea and upper respiratory tract infection. Yeah, basically that.
Okay, now let's talk about the week. What's happening this week to close the gap? I'll give you a word and then we'll close with.
So this week we started celebrating Breastfeeding Week from August 1st, and today we are climaxing it. And so it also doubles as the celebration for the Department of Child Health, Kolebu. And so we are, and as well as Kolebu is also celebrating its 100 years in excellence in healthcare. So this week or today, we're actually having stakeholders coming by, and then we are also going to showcase to them the benefits of breastfeeding, ensure that we galvanize action towards breastfeeding to all mothers and as well as other breastfeeding, healthcare facilities. Right. So that's what's really happening today.
I'll give you the last word, Felicia. What should we take away from this conversation?
Okay, so breastfeed your baby for the first 6 months without adding food nor water. Remember, for the first 3 days, colostrum is very important. Yeah. It serves as the first immunization for the baby and also protects the baby from infection. So when you see the yellow milk, do not say it is bad milk, so you are expressing it and then throwing it away. That misconception should be cleared. It is the best for the baby, the first immunization for the baby, and then help build the immune of the baby.
Thank you, ladies, for sitting with us today. Felicia Amankwa is a Senior Midwifery Officer, Obstetric and Gynecology Department at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And Dr. Mame Araba Akwa is a pediatric resident at the Department of Child Health at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you for sitting with us. My greetings to Dr. Anum, who is my favorite Obs and Gynae at the department. And we'll wish you a fruitful celebration of Breastfeeding Week, which we are climaxing with a stakeholder engagement at Kolebu Teaching Hospital today. Hopefully you've also learned a lot from this chat. Breastfeeding, very important for mother and baby, and do it safely. Always wash your hands with soap and water and make sure that you and the baby are keeping well. This has been the BFS Clinic. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the show continues. Stay with us.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
Breakfast. Valerie, say you love me. You love me. Just say it, don't think about it. Say it.
I love you, Jay.
Ah, thank you. You're welcome.
Greetings. How are you? We are sharing love this morning. Hey. Good morning. Welcome to the social media corner. We're interactive. We're interactive across social media. 055 5561034 or look for the hashtag GTV Breakfast and you find us.
Yeah, so to our very first trend on the social media corner this morning, we are going all the way to Belgium where Stoneboy performed at the Rico Jill 2024 festival, and he had a whole medley of songs, and a lot of people on social media are commenting on how great a performance he gave. But then again, it's Stoneboy, so yeah, we expect a lot from him. So
being president for a reason.
Yeah. So enjoy these videos.
Go.
Oh, the devil's after me. What's the sound?
Hey, you tell me.
Good sacrifice of
Banana, reggae girl. Being president for a reason, and that's Stoneboy. But guess what? He's still in the trends. Like we said, Stoneboy for a reason. You remember a couple of months back, there were some pictures online of him and Wycliffe, and he said, "Oh, we are sure something is cooking."
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We finished cooking.
And this Friday, they are dishing it out to us. Yes.
New music out, Stoneboy featuring Wycliffe Jean, Pray For Me. The trailer is coming up shortly. Enjoy.
Okay, so that new music, Pray For Me, coming out this Friday. Looking forward to it. And from here on out, I'll be praying for all of us.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So, to some new music, you know, Kitty and Blacko released Lomo Lomo last week. And Kitty, over the weekend, if you're following his social media, I see he was doing a lot of rousing clubs, events everywhere with Lomo Lomo. He's out there doing his thing, and we are enjoying it. So he has some sort of thing he put out across his socials, and it's Lomo Lomo this whole week, people.
thing no be normal. You know want to know more. This don't give me trouble. You did do.
And that's Mandem Kiddy doing it, Lomo Lomo. We are still asking though, what does it mean, Lomo Lomo?
Are you sure you want to know?
I think it will mean different things for different people.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it means to me. I'm not going to share with anybody, but
Curiosity.
if you want to know, come and see me in chamber.
Lomo Lomo.
Yes.
Yeah. And the African beauty, the African goddess Hamamat has joined the fray. So she, together with the girls at her village, the Hamamat village, also did a rendition. It's really, really nice.
You know, a lot of people jump on challenges like this when a new song comes out. So enjoy this version.
And Jay was commenting the ladies in there on their melanin. Mwah. Enjoy.
I didn't comment, but if you watch the video, you can't help but think I commented in my head. But how did you know I said it in my head? Anyway, enjoy the video.
Somebody else come take you over here. They do me lomo lomo. This thing no be.
Do me Lomo Lomo. We are asking, what does Lomo Lomo mean to you? What's that next one?
It means natural beauty. Yes, like we just saw. Whoa.
Shout out to our boss, Director of Marketing, Mr. Lomote. Do you understand what Lomo Lomo means? Maybe you can tell us. Hey, I'm just being mischievous. So what's our next trend?
Hey. Va. You want them to Lomo us from the studio. Anyway.
Lomo.
Anyway, so to new music coming out again. Our Ghanaian musicians are
on
doing
Friday again.
Yes, on Friday. A lot is going to happen this Friday. So it's like a TGIF before it happens. Now, Sinaso was also in the studio, and her producer, DJ Breezy, played a snippet of a new track which is coming out on Friday, and it features a surprise guest whom you'll hear on the verse pretty shortly.
Christina, so I want you to listen to the first mix, and then you tell me what you think about that. Okay?
All right, let's go. Let's go.
You ready? Okay.
Run away from me. Too bad for you. Run away from me. Too bad for you. Run away from me. Too bad for you.
You don't deserve to be treated like how I do. I know you want me all to yourself, but I got a few. I know the kind that you love, the cute. Holding hands, walk on the beach and catching the view. Too crazy for you. I wish you said this time. I make sure with the kind of.
That was a cute reaction.
Pure joy for Miss Sinasole.
Yes.
Pure joy.
So it was as much a surprise for us as it was for her hearing it for the first time. And that music is coming out this Friday. Looking forward to that. Sinasole and
King Sack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kenneth is also on the track as well. So it's going to be beautiful music. Yes. What sacrifices have you made for your family that you think that, oh, this sacrifice was worth it?
Family? No, that's not your family. What sacrifices have you made for the person you thought you loved? Or the person
you thought you loved?
Or the person you thought loved you back? What sacrifices have you made? Tell us. The next
you
video.
regretted it, making that sacrifice. Yes, and you regretted making that sacrifice because sometimes if you sacrifice for someone, you need a receipt to show that on this day, I sacrificed my last 2 CD and gave it to my friend to go to as lorry fare to go home, and he never paid back something. So I had to walk from Tema to Accra or something. I don't know, something. Anyway, listen to this story. I don't know if it's true, but maybe it happened. Maybe.
Is it a goat sacrifice or something else?
So I had this girl way back, and I got my visa to travel to the United States. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But this girl told me if I travel, that means I don't love her. Oh, Charlie, so I had to, cancel my travel plans and stay with that girl to prove my loyalty, right?
Are you serious?
What, Jimmy? So fast for Charlie, the following year, I was on my phone, I was texting, I was like, let me check on my girl status, right? Only to realize that the girl has gone to USO.
Wow. You sacrificed US for her, but she didn't even tell she was going to US.
And the crazy part is, I texted her, I was like, oh, Charlie, since you are in the United States, make you cash me some dollars.
Okay.
This girl told me that I'm not serious at all in life. Oh, Charlie, I sacrificed mine to be loyal to you. This girl got the chance to travel outside, and look at the nonsense she told me. Oh, Charlie.
How can you tell me this story? So right now, no, since you didn't go for that opportunity that came for you to go to the US, right now is it still possible to go, or because of what you did?
Charlie, my uncle died. My uncle who was supposed to take me to the United States, she died.
So now, Wakagana.
My life.
Wakagana.
So was that good advice or was something else? I'll go with something else.
I think so too. Yeah. Something else.
It was
doesn't
something
make
else
sense.
entirely.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Anyway, so the trend I spoke to you about on Monday, the one that goes, give me my money, and then people scream,
yay!
And then it gets to the last person, and they give me my money, and then they leave that person hanging. It's embarrassing, it's fun, depending on who you play that prank with. Yeah, well, yes, some Ghanaians who have changed the game to saying Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame,
yes.
Our key version.
Yes, and then they are doing it to their parents. Let's see how it goes.
Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame. A door from yes.
Ready?
Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame. Faye Sumame. Faye Sumame. Oh, wow. Faye Sumame.
Faye Sumame.
So basically, everyone says the same phrase. When it gets to the last person, nobody screams, and then you are just there wondering what's going on.
So it's a trend that started on TikTok. So you sort of made somebody feel bad, and if you don't want to feel bad, you go and look for another person to come and continue. So it's just like everybody's just putting you on the spot.
If somebody comes and says we should play a game called "Give Me My Money,"
it's just they are going to put you on the spot, and the camera is going to be on you. So steady as you go into the weekend.
Oh, we had one last video concerning the pronunciation of Bobo and Bourbon, but we have to go for sports. Thank you for joining us this morning on the social media corner. That's all time will allow us for.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you on the sports side.
Welcome aboard to our viewers on GTV and to our viewers on GTV Sports Plus. This is just a continuation of the show. It's time for us to give you the updates. My name is Akusia Eje, and in our first story, we're looking at the Black Princesses because they are preparing or getting ready for the U20 Women's World Cup this year, which will be hosted in Colombia between August and September. It starts from the 31st August to the 22nd of September. Remember that Ghana is in Group D alongside Austria, Japan, and New Zealand. The team will be hoping to, for the very first time, qualify from the group stage. Well, still on women's football, and Hazakis ladies will be without their star player Abdullahi Mukarama for the CAF Women's Champions League qualifier due to injury. The former Black Princess captain was expected to lead the line for the Hasmal ladies in their quest to return to the continental competition, but she will be unavailable for the qualifying campaign because of the injury. Despite her injury, the 2023 African Games gold medalist remains with the team, offering support as they prepare for the tournament. Mukarama, the club's top scorer for the 2023-2024 Women's Premier League season, made a remarkable return to the local scene after signing with Hazakis ladies for the 2023-2024 season. She scored 11 goals, helping Hazakis claim the Women's Top Flight Championship for the first time since 2021, marking their 5th league title overall. The second D-based team is set to depart for Abidjan this week for the WAFU Zone B qualifiers, where they are drawn in Group B alongside Nigeria's Edo Queens, AS Garde National of Niger, and Burkina Faso's Omnisports Etincelle.
Had a striking instinct so much intact. Is needed. 2 goals for Hazakis. 2 goals. I said 2 more.
Still in Ghana, the Confederation of African Football has announced dates for Ghana's games in the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. According to the dates, the Black Stars will open their qualifying campaign at home against Angola on Thursday, September 5th, 2024. They will travel for their second fixture against Niger on Monday, September 9th, 2024, before completing the first round in October when they host Sudan on the 7th. Ghana was placed in Group F alongside Angola, Sudan, and Niger for the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier in July 2024. The Black Stars will face former head coach Kwesi Appiah, who is currently with Sudan, and also face Angola for the second time in a row in AFCON qualifiers.
Lovely waits. And it comes, whipped in, there's a chance! And scrambled away, no! Smashed in by Semenya! Have grabbed all 3 points, surely! The stadium explodes in Kumasi! We're headed on. The referee brings proceedings to an end.
In other stories, Ghana winger Kamaldeen Suleiman has been ruled out of Southampton's season opener in the Premier League against Newcastle United. The 22-year-old has picked up an injury and will miss the trip to St. James Park on August 17th, 2024. The pace is on the Olympics, and Ahmad Duplantis celebrates his recent gold medal with the Sweden King Carl Gustaf at the Sweden House.
På en centimeter till. Du får flytta på det. Jag tänkte på...
Different and completely different situation, completely different. I mean, Tokyo was like a practice almost. I mean, feeling with no fans in the stadium, a stressful practice at that. But I mean, to be able to have 80,000 people screaming your name, stadium, all the attention on you, it's unbelievable.
We still stay with the Olympics, and yesterday would have been a silver medal for Nigeria in Hamathil, but after Annette Ineka naturalized to America, she won them a medal, and this is what she had to say after winning that silver medal in Hamathil for the United States of America.
It's such a great honor, honestly. All I can do in my heart is really just be so grateful to God to just even put me in this position, quite honestly. But I'm so excited and so grateful that I get to bring this home for Team USA. Yeah, to be the first is something pretty insane, and something that'll go down in history, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
Once again, that could have been a medal for Nigeria, because in Tokyo 2020, she was there, but due to an administrative error from the Nigeria Federation, she was unable to participate in Tokyo 2020. So after that, she decided to change her nationality from Nigeria to an American, and she has become the first woman to win a medal in Hamathil for the United States of America. Now to football, and yesterday in women's football, it was Spain who played against Brazil. The results 4-2. So Brazil won against the world champions, that's Spain, to set up a repeat of the 2008 Olympic women's football final against the United States in Paris on Saturday. The other semi-final of the day, and Emma Hayes' women, that's the United States of American women's national team, defeated Germany 1-0 in the semi-finals to advance to the gold medal match at the ongoing Olympic Games. Sophia Smith scored a goal in overtime, assisted by Mallory Swanson, to help the Americans' chances of winning their first gold medal, with former Chelsea women's team manager Emma Hayes. And so it's a USA-Brazil finals for the women's football at the Olympics. We have a very important conversation with Dr. Pambo right after this break. Gloria will sit down with Dr. Pambo. They're talking injuries, they're talking health, sports, all the good stuff. And so please do not go away from your TV. We'll be right back.
I know you want to touch it.
Smooth. Daily graphic.
Alrighty.
Economic growth favors the rich. ESA demands income redistribution. There's a picture of Professor Peter Corte. He's director of the Institute of Social, Statistical and Economic Research.
Resist photocopying of Ghana card for transactions, says the Margins Group CEO. Yeah, people can take the details. Be careful.
Right. Graphic, WFP hold technical stakeholders breakfast meeting today.
2020 election violence, trash hands tied. Human rights body calls for expedited court cases.
Okay, amend NHIA Act for efficient NHIS. Dr. Abuaji is saying so. Stories on page 13.
Alrighty, that's your daily graphic this beautiful Wednesday morning. Next paper.
The Ghanaian Times. At maiden town hall meeting in Accra, government touts economy's recovery, says despite challenges, economy grows by $20 billion. Inflation drops from 54% in 2022 to 22% as of June 2024.
Government
there.
bans lease of public lands by public institutions and individuals. The picture there of the Minister of Lands, Natural Resources, Samuel Bujinapo.
Okay, election 2024 campaign. I will consider Kusak region. Mahama is saying so.
Uphold principles of founding fathers to prepare national development and growth, says Dr. Baumia.
Ghanaian Times.
Daily Guide.
Okay. National security justifies 6 million Ghana cedi Boku budget.
3 hack bishops jailed for contempt.
Our preserved traditions, customs. Baumia.
Nana calls for Gulf of Guinea Commission review.
Okay, 450 MSMEs get start support.
Alrighty, that's a daily guide. Next paper, Chronicle.
Right. Akufo-Addo adds $20 billion to Ghana's GDP. Finance Minister said this yesterday.
We will introduce cooperative mining, says Mahama.
Press urges Gulf of Guinea Commission to identify other funding sources.
And Chief of Staff touting an investment of 176 million cedis in MSMEs since 2021. That's your headline.
Verse of the day, Kaf.
Genesis 12:3. I will bless those who bless you.
Amen.
And him who dishonors you, I will curse.
Amen.
And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed.
Amen.
Amen. Daily Dispatch.
2024, press elections. Can others push Baumia and Mahama to a runoff?
No matter what you say, Nkrumah is Ghana's most outstanding leader, Professor Ajiman Dua.
Okay.
Then you have analysis of presidential election results from 96 to 2020. Alrighty, your Daily Dispatch.
The Crusader, the new Crusading Guide. Government drives economic prosperity through GEA, MOTI, and MOF grant initiative.
Guta AGI confident in amended GSA law.
Elembeladi CE presents scholarships to first batch of beneficiaries.
Government accounts Ghanaians showcasing massive infrastructural development.
Okay. Fete Kakraba chief secures court order for possession of over 5,800 acres of land.
All right, and National Security exposes Mahama Yariga for politicizing Boko conflict. That's your new Crusading Guide. Okay. Publisher.
Right. Government disbursed 175 million Ghana cedis to MSMSEs. Fremont Paris says so.
Herbert Krapper tours Abuadzi Enclave.
Akufo-Addo grows economy by $20 billion, Finance Minister says.
AGI Lord Parliament over GSA law.
That's it. The Informer. Towards elections 2024, stop attacks on EC at this, political parties advised.
Witchcraft accusation, 6 caged for torturing woman, 61.
Disinformation undermines national security, Weblo saying so.
Ensuring effective decentralized governance. Let's build systems, not parties, says Professor Bafo Ajiman Duya.
Okay, and Serene Insurance sweeps 4 awards at the 7th Ghana Insurance Awards.
Congratulations to them.
Yes, and that's the Informer.
Searchlight, the busiest front page in the world. Government embarks on town hall meetings.
University of Cape Coast Vice Chancellor's impasse resolved.
Dr. Edichun prays for promoting STEM education in Ghana.
Okay, MPP to launch 2024 manifesto.
Striking college teachers to call off strike if ...
Dangerous diatribe. Mahama politicizes Boku conflict. Okay.
Okay.
That's a searchlight. Okay. Republic Press. Ayariga Kandapa face-off over 6 million Ghana cedi Boku peace cash.
Okay, Finance Minister begs for forgiveness, blames hardships on DDEP.
Ghanaians will get 100% internet coverage when I become president. Now, me, I saying this.
Professor Opoku Ajima calls on voters to reject MPP's vote-buying tactics.
Olympic swimmer kicked out from Olympics after sneaking out to meet boyfriend.
What a sacrifice. Release funds for the completion of projects, PAC to MWF.
Yeah.
All right. The custodian.
Okay. Government accounts to Ghanaians with massive projects.
NDC's propaganda on a Japadia exposed.
Expenditure on Boku conflict. National Security Ministry explains.
Guta AGI confident in new shippers law.
And
government accounts to Ghanaians with massive projects. We've seen that already.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it. Custodian. Wow.
It doesn't end.
Charlie, the Times. The Japadia document, Mahama throws Akufo-Addo's denial into the gutters, urges Ghanaian youth to help. NDC sent MPP packing on December 7.
Ghana, the most stable democracy in West Africa, Bagbin tells investors.
Action. Speaker Bagbin establishes ad hoc committee on the circumstances leading to the spillage of excess water from the Akonsombo Dam.
Retooling at Chimota Police Station is my priority, Jinapo assures Ablakwa's committee.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And that's it. Small.
If another one came on, I protested. All right.
Yeah. Hasta la vista.
Baby. I thought you were going to bless me again.
One more time.
Oh, you people are just great. Especially Valerie. For the headlines, as you see them on the screen, on the right, you have James Kofi Annan, who is NDC parliamentary candidate for the Efutu constituency. In the middle is Courage Nubi, Deputy Director for Policy for the Movement for Change. And Kweku Kwashe is sitting next, closest to me. He's the National Communication Team member for the New Patriotic Party. So it's Kweku, Courage, and James. Good morning. Welcome to the show. How are you guys all doing?
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah?
Good morning, Kafui.
All good.
Yeah. I'm trying to get used to your face now.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And welcome to the club.
Thank you very much.
The club of men who don't want their hair to grow by choice.
I do it twice a year, on my birthday and then on New Year.
I see.
Yes, it was my birthday, and then I gave myself a treat to go and cut my hair off.
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you so much, gentlemen.
May your dreams come true.
Amen. And may yours come true as well.
It will come true.
Okay. Good to have you all here. Let me just start by just asking what's on your minds, really. What's on your mind, James? In terms of current affairs and what's happening in the country?
Well, a lot are happening in this country. I just bemoan the sufferings of Ghana at the moment. I see poverty rising in this country, people's incomes eroding, people are unable to afford basic needs, are unable to afford education. The standards of our education is going down. All these things worry me a lot. And I believe that the earlier something is done about this situation, the better. If you look at our educational system now, we are implementing free SHS, which I believe you know that the NDC started before they left office in 2016. And that is the reason why the NDC established the E-blocks, so many secondary schools. In my region, Central Region alone, we had an allocation of 18 of them. And by the time John Mahama left office, he had already commissioned 10 of them. And that was intended to expand educational infrastructure to be able to absorb all the students who have come through the free SHS system. But unfortunately, the NDC left power, and we were thinking that the government would continue and build more of the classrooms and infrastructure to be able to absorb these students. So sad, a friend of mine had a son who went to school last year in October, left school last year in October, and had to resume in February of the next year. Meanwhile, another friend whose daughter is of the same age with that student went to school in America, in high school, and at the time my friend's son was in the house for 4 months, his daughter was still going to school. So you have about 2 months of secondary school students going to school and 4 months of being in the house. And parents will have to spend thousands of Ghana cedis paying for extra classes and paying for transportation for their children to attend classes. This worries me because it impacts on the quality of education. Quality education is not only on passing. You can pass your exams and yet not have quality education. We are talking about content here. How much of exposure are students having? Contact hours with their teachers, being able to read, analyze, and interpret text is so much important in respect to quality education. Our children are not having that. Now we are teaching our children how to pass rather than how to have quality education. It worries me a lot.
Okay, so for you, what's on your mind is education, really?
Education.
And what, just briefly, what are the solutions that the NDC is providing?
Well, the NDC is providing infrastructural expansion for the free SHS and improving upon it so that we don't only get our students to pass, but we get them to have proper quality education. Go to our universities, speak to our lecturers. They will tell you that the students these days who come through their hands are barely unable to read and write.
But how infrastructure solve that?
You see, because we don't have sufficient infrastructure, the students are mainly out of the school system.
So they're not able to study?
They are not able to study enough.
Okay.
So you have this green, yellow kind of situation.
Okay.
They are in the house mostly and few times in the school. So they are unable to actually be educated.
Okay. So
they
more
go to
infrastructure
school.
will solve the problem as far as you're concerned?
Yes, more infrastructure will
And briefly, before I bring in Courage, you are going up against the majority leader of Parliament, correct?
Yes.
Efutu?
Yes, Efutu.
How's, I mean, that's a David versus Goliath kind of fight.
No, it is not a David.
Who is David and who is Goliath? I think you are David.
It is not a David and Goliath affair.
It's not?
It is a contest that is winnable. In a Futu constituency, majority of the people are NDC. Majority of the people have seen the work of the NDC.
So why is there an MP there? Is the majority
because they steal the elections. You know.
You have to prove that, you know.
Yeah, no, but you see,
you have to prove that.
Look at the central region. Let me give you just a small
let's
thing.
talk about
You don't have. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to say.
You can't prove this.
Yeah, I'll prove it for you. Give me just 1 minute to prove it.
I'm not a judge, or you have to prove it.
Give me 1 minute to prove it. The central region, Efutu is not the most populated constituency. Ewutu East has more than 300,000 population. They are closer to Accra. In the just ended voter transfer, they recorded less than 5,000 people who were transferred into the constituency. Efutu has a population of 100,000. And yet, we had the highest number of people who transferred their vote into the constituency.
How much?
6,200 plus.
So there are 6,000 more people inside your constituency.
You know, how can it be?
I don't know.
300,000 people in one constituency, which is just close to Accra, record less than 5,000 people who were transferred. Yet, 100,000 people in the constituency recorded more than 6,000 people.
Have you made an official complaint to the authorities who can sort this issue out?
Of course, we have made numerous complaints.
To who?
You know, to the electoral commission who is helpless.
Response. What's the response?
The response is that for them, you will show up, and once they see that you are qualified, they transfer you. That's the response.
But if you say Efutu is a naturally NDC place, does it start to reason that more NDC people are coming to enter your constituency, so you are going to win?
What I'm telling you is, if the constituents are allowed to vote, if the constituents are not bought with money, there's no way the MPP can win.
You've seen money change hands?
That is an open secret.
No, have you seen money?
I have seen
How much?
A lot of money change hands.
How much?
Almost every week.
You took pictures?
You know that you are trying to be legalistic here, but I want to tell you.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
because you must back things up with evidence.
You see, let me tell you something. Those who are now practicing politics, are getting to learn the game and knowing how people influence the political process.
Right.
You have a constituency where nearly every week there's news about sharing of money. You don't have to see it with your eyes, but people who receive the money come to report to you, tell you that I have received this much money. Do you have to provide another evidence? My own constituency executive was given a momo at a registration center.
Why didn't he reject it?
He rejected it.
I see.
For him, I know. But what about the numerous other people who I don't know?
We'll keep an eye on the Efutu constituency. It looks like it's going to be quite interesting. James Kofi Annan is the NDC parliamentary candidate there. Very confident that he can unseat the majority leader, Honorable Afenyo Markin, and also talking about education as being on the top of his mind. I'll come to James Kwekukwashi shortly, but I want to first kick off with the Movement for Change chap. Courage, what's on your mind this morning?
Thank you very much, King Kaf, and you're looking very smooth.
Thank you, sir.
Today.
Thank you.
Quite an interesting change. And greetings to the presidential candidate, the independent presidential candidate of the Movement for Change, Alan John Kojo Trematin, a Christ-like leader par excellence, a leader who eschews corruption, has never been corrupt, and will never be corrupt. A leader we can trust to protect our natural resources. What's on my mind this morning is to have learnt, sadly, that the only green belt in Accra, the Achimota Forest, that the president has issued an executive instrument with the aim to de-reserve it. What that means is that it is no longer going to be treated as a forest reserve, and that all manner of activities are going to be allowed to take place there, including estate development. And I'm saying that that is a travesty that must not be allowed to happen. Why is it so? I was in secondary school Form 2 in 2006 when the Etiwa Forest Range, Achibi, was inaugurated by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site because of its rich biodiversity. 3 rivers take their source from that particular mountain range, one of which is Birim, which borders the school I attended, the Wakwa State College. Today, as we speak, the water is practically in extinction as a result of the activities of Galamsey. But how did that happen? Whereas the illegal activity was ongoing, under this current president, a law was passed, that's LI 242, that allows mining in forest reserves. Up until that time, mining in forest reserves was illegal. So you have a president and a ruling party that passes laws to legitimize illegalities that destroy our very existence and future. And that is what worries me as a young person. If about a 78-year-old man is ruling this country and all he can do is to destroy what will sustain this country, then we are in a very dangerous and precarious situation as a country. In 2022, Ghana had the highest rate of forest deforestation.
It was LI 2462.
2462, yes. The highest rate of deforestation in the world. In the world. And that is because from colonial times, all our forest reserves have been kept pristine. Under this current regime, the people have been allowed wantonly to mine in all these forest reserves, affecting our water bodies and our sustainability. This certainly cannot be allowed to continue. And as a young person, I'm worried about the future of this country when we continue to allow some of these things. And we cannot trust this ruling party to stop the pillaging of our resources.
What does your candidate say about mining?
Neither can we trust my good brother, here's James's party, to stop it, because it started in 2013 under their watch.
Well, President Mahama recently said that the next NDC government will end mining in forest reserves.
Yeah, but he was president from 2013 when it started, all the way to 2016. He could do nothing about it. So it's not about promise. It's about whether you can be trusted. So under Alan Kyerematen, the first thing that he's going to do within the first 2 years is to completely abolish illegal mining in all its forms, particularly in forest reserves and in and close to water bodies, completely. But one of the other things that he's going to do is to also bring an enactment of a law that makes chiefs and traditional authorities co-trustees together with the president of these resources, so that they would have capacity to prevent the pillaging of those resources. Also, try and set up the Western region as a gold or mineral development hub. What that will do is that we are going to now create jobs at the industrial stage, which will give a lot of the young people jobs to do and prevent them from now wanting to enter the forest reserves to do the illegal mining that we see, because it is in industrialization that we are able to create jobs. So this is what is on my mind this morning. And if you want to know the impact of all of these activities, generally even on industrialization and development, Cocoa Processing Company has reported to have recorded about $10 million in losses. Why? Because they could not get the right volume of cocoa beans to process in the first quarter of this year. That certainly is a travesty. And this year we are projected to produce less than half of the 1 million tons of cocoa that we used to produce. Why? Galamsey has taken over most of our cocoa farms.
In spite of this picture that you paint, the finance minister is touting the country's economic recovery. He says, despite challenges, our economy has grown by $20 billion. Inflation has dropped from 54% in 2022 to 22% as of June 2024. So in spite of the problems, he's saying that, hey, we're doing well.
We're not doing it well. And I think the director of ISE has stated it. What they have on paper is in sharp contradiction to our lived experiences. And I always say this. I Kinkaf, about 2-3 a year, I go to Agbogloshi myself to bulk purchase for my household. All right? Pepe, Pakoshito, that we used to buy an Olonka, I think the last time I visited this year, at 30 cedis. I visited 2 weeks ago, Tuesday. It was 80 cedis. 80 cedis within the same year. All right? How do you tell me that my economic situation is better off? Fuel that I used to buy, right, is quoting figures. As of 2021, filling a Fortuner was 470 cedis. Today, 1,000 cedis is unable to fill the same tank.
Have you changed your car?
How am I better? Same car. How am I?
So now you drive less?
How am I? No. How am I better off with this kind of exorbitant condition of living?
What changes have you made to your lifestyle to counter?
Oh, a lot. And my family has had to adjust a lot, even in terms of even household appliances. You know, now what you do is that you even move with the lights. Yes.
You move with the lights?
Yes.
How?
So when you're in the living room, you keep that one on, and then when you move to the hallway, you turn that one on, and then turn off the living room and all of that. The last time
it's making you more efficient.
Yes, but I'm saying that the last time I heard of that kind of living, it was people in the UK. Do you understand? So the cost of living is astronomically high, very high. And when I see both the Minister of Finance and Minister of Agriculture, they are jubilating that tomato prices have come down. Prices go down when the crop is in season, all right? And they increase when it is out of season. What we expect of a responsible government is a government that is able to implement policies that stabilizes prices, whether it's in season or out of season. All right. And so when before 2016 election, we heard of one village, one dam in the north, a place that could become agriculturally our sustenance. We were excited, but what happened? Corruption ate up all of that policy, such that there was more corruption in the dugouts than water. Plenty for food and job. Just 19th of May, the Peasant Farmers Association had complained. They said that the phase 1 that was implemented with over 2 billion cedis spent, they did not receive the fertilizer. And so they are calling for an audit into what they call the calamitous failure in the implementation of that policy. The question is, that fertilizer that was subsidized by the state, where did it go to?
Okay, so lots of questions from Courage. Courage is thinking about mining in the forests, the whole mining regime. So talking about the cost of living, which is at variance with the figures that are being touted by the government ministers, and he talked a little bit about corruption as far as the price for food or jobs, fertilizers are concerned. That's what's on his mind. Kweku, what's on your mind this morning?
Thank you, Kafui.
Yeah.
What's on my mind? Two things. First, what's on my mind is the Ghana under Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Ghana I envisage. And of course, what's on my mind is the achievements of our current government. Good morning to His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The man who says to lead is to solve. And that should be the major role of every leader. To lead is to solve. And to solve means you must believe in possibilities. And so he's about to usher us into an era of possibilities. If you're a leader who believes in possibilities, you must be able to explain those possibilities. If you can't explain those possibilities, you're merely dreaming. Bawumia has said that when he comes into office, he's going to introduce the individual credit system. That makes it easy for people to acquire assets. So, for example, if today somebody who works as a tailor, as a waiter, has to save, say, 800 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis to get one mobile phone. He wants a Techno, he wants a ITEL, 800 cedis, 900 cedis. He has to save all his monthly salary to buy that. Bawumia says, when I come, I'm going to make it simple and easy for you to make a small deposit and pay the rest over a period. I tell you, all our friends who come from outside the country, they come from the UK, they come from the US, and they come into a country with iPhones and Samsungs, and we all days what they have. It's all on credits. They never buy cash. That is the Ghana Bawumia promises this country. See, Bawumia has again said he's going to make sure Ghana goes on a 2,000 megawatts of solar energy. That is a life changer, not a game changer. It is a life changer. Because what? Currently in Ghana, we need forex. We need dollars to buy fuel to power our generators to have light on. Bawumia says that when I come, I'm going to make sure that a chunk of our power moves onto solar. We won't buy solar. We won't buy the sun. The sun is everywhere. It's in Cape Coast. It's in Boko. It's in Nandom. It's in Accra. Nobody buys it. That will reduce the dependence on dollar and make our currency more stable. That is a life changer. Bawumia has again promised that he's going to ensure that over 1 million youth are trained in ICT. This is going to open up the employment sector and more people are going to be employed. Again, he said that he's going to create economic zones along the borders of our country. We all know there's a lot of rural-urban migration. People come to urban areas in search of greener pastures, in search of jobs. Bawumia says that I'm going to create economic zones in these areas so that more factories are there. People are employed in these border towns. Again, they'll be able to export stuff to other countries very easily. That is a life changer that's going to affect the lives of many people in this country. See, Bawumia again has proposed that he is going to give flat tax rates on duties and so on. That again is a life changer, it's a lifeline for many businesses. So This is a vision of the man Baumia, and that's the vision. That's what what's on my mind this morning. Again, what's on my mind is achievements of our current government. Currently, 5.7 million children have been able to benefit from free senior high school. Hitherto, half of these children would have been home. Their dreams and aspirations have been given a boost of light, a boost of fire, and a boost of hope. And this is what has been happening in this current administration. In the 1960s, the population of Ghana was around 6-point-something million people. Today, under Akufo-Addo, 5.7 million people have gained free senior high school, have gained access to education. That's almost the population of Ghana in the 1960s. In the 1960s. That is a major, major achievement no one can write off. See, this government believes in helping people, all right? And so if you see the history since Kufuor, we are the government that has implemented social interventions for this country. I tell you, if you ask the NDC what social intervention is and social amenity, they have no idea the difference between these two. We are the government that has been able to implement social intervention programs. Currently, many people have been put on the LEAP, what's called the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty, to help the people who have hard homes, who are tight. In as much as we're a party that believes in helping businesses, and that's going on through the Ghana Enterprise Agency. If you go to National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, there's a lot happening there, helping startups. If you go to many areas, actually, many areas, it's happening all over. We believe that we have to help businesses, but we also understand that there are people who are on their bellies who can stand. There are people who are on their butts. There are people who are on their knees. We have to help them climb the ladder of success, the ladder of prosperity, so they can also better their lives. And that's why LEAP is there to help people, all right? From 2016, we bought LEAP, Kukufor bought LEAP. The people on LEAP were around 200,000 people, currently over 350,000 people. And the money per household has improved tremendously. From 40 million in 2016, now it's over 400 million. That's what we believe in. See, we have increased enrollment in NHIs from 9 million in 2016 to 17 million today. That is also a social intervention policy. This government believes in helping people, and that's exactly what we are doing. Quickly, let me also add here that apart from all these interventions, a lot has gone on infrastructure-wise. We're building hospitals. 1D, 1F is going on.
Where are the hospitals? Where are the 111 hospitals?
Oh, the hospitals.
Where are they?
Okay.
Good question.
Where are they? Where are they? I mentioned some for you.
Yeah, I mentioned
some for you. So currently they are ongoing. We all are aware they're ongoing, and by the end of the year, many will be commissioned.
So none have been commissioned yet.
They're ongoing. Some are 90% completion, some are 62% completion.
I just want to know whether any have been commissioned.
Not yet.
Okay.
In the next few months, some will be commissioned. Look, we have some in a half of Goso.
It's not ready yet. If it's not commissioned,
you were asking me. You were asking me.
I want to know whether they are ready.
They are not ready.
Okay.
It's under construction.
Okay.
But that's a process.
So tell me the ones that are under construction.
Look, there are many. There are many. Look, there's some in Goso, Kukuna is the half region, Kodie, Edujama. I have a whole list here. Come to Ashanti, Insuta, Kwabnakwa, Isiwa, Barakesi. It's all ongoing there. Let's come to Bono region. Odumasi, Jini, Amasudoma, Techiman. It's all ongoing there. Bono East, Kajeji, Prang, Busanya.
Of completion in your table?
Some are at 90% completion, some are at 65% completion. It's work ongoing. We have 1D, 1F companies currently working.
No, I want to stay on the hospitals for a while.
Oh, yeah,
what is the rollout plan? When is the first one? Which one is closest to commissioning?
I can't say that now. I know there are some at the various stage of completion because there were issues initially starting, right? But I know for sure.
Do we have the money?
Pardon me?
Do you have the money?
Construction is going on.
Do we have enough money?
Construction is going on.
Will it be finished?
Construction is going on. It's backed by money. I hope it will be finished. But many will be finished. Many will be finished. There's money allocated to it. Many will be finished. Never in the history of this country has any one government embarked on such major intervention, such major infrastructure.
There's a bit of an apology spree going on. So recently, a senior member of your party, Kennedy Ajapong, is telling your members to admit mistakes and apologize to Ghanaians. He is the current member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Ejapong. He says, let's go out there with humility. I apologize to Ghanaians. I made your mistakes before you can convince anybody to vote for you. If we ignore the hardships Ghanaians are going through, they will never accept what you're saying. You first have to admit that there are hardships. Let's give NPP another chance, and I know we all have learnt our lessons. We're all not going to sit back. We will all support Dr. Bawumia to win. That's what he said. And then not too long after that, the finance minister, I think, taking a cue from the request.
You are breaking my flow.
No, it's part of. I'm supporting what you're saying.
Right.
So this, I'm not talking about any of your opponents. I'm talking about what your party members have said, and I want to hear your views on it. So Dr. Amin says he has apologized to us, Ghanaians, for the hardships that we are experiencing due to the domestic debt exchange program. And his apology comes after Asin Central MP Kennedy Ejapong advised MPP members to admit their mistakes. So this is in a town hall that happened just yesterday. He explained that the DDEP was a requirement by International Monetary Fund necessitating its implementation. And he says, well, it was never the intention of any government to impose hardships on its people. More so, the MPP government has demonstrated that we want to reduce the burden on the Ghanaian people. So he's basically justifying the tough economic conditions that people are experiencing. Is this going to be a trend now? We're going to be hearing more apologies?
Kafui, I think we should understand that no person is perfect and no government can be perfect. Government certainly will make some false starts. That happens in every government. And so what is seen is nothing extraordinary. Nothing extraordinary. All right? We accept the challenges in the economy. However, Kafui, notwithstanding these challenges, what we have been able to achieve in this period cannot be compared to previously.
We're not talking about comparison. We are just talking about what has happened right now.
Exactly.
We said the Kennedy says, Ejapong says, apologize before you go and ask for people's votes. Then the minister comes and apologizes. Is this a trend?
I'm saying that.
Do you apologize?
No government is perfect. Are we supposed to apologize for 5.7 million people who have been sent to school? Are we supposed to?
We're not talking about.
Are we supposed
to? You're not talking about.
I acknowledge.
You're stretching this.
Nobody
apologizes for an achievement. You apologize for something that has gone wrong, and that is what they are talking about. So don't stretch it. Nobody's apologizing for sending children to school.
I get you.
Please.
I get you. We're putting things in perspective. All right. And I'm saying that we have admitted.
But I can give
we have
you
challenges. Please, don't cut me. You had time to speak. I'll be quiet. I'm saying that no government is perfect.
Right.
We have admitted we're challenged. No two ways. We are challenged brought upon by the COVID and Russia-Ukraine war. We can never write it off. All across the world, all leaders accept this. COVID was a major banger on our economy. No two ways about that. Russia-Ukraine war was another banger on our economy.
Are we seeing a bit more humility?
Notwithstanding.
Because we've been hearing from your opponents that you guys are not humble to accept that you have made mistakes. So is this a sea change? I mean, if two top members of your party are now saying you should apologize, one says we should apologize, the other one apologizes. Is this a change? So are you getting more humble?
So what's the mistake here? What's the mistake he's talking about here?
The hardship. You say apologize to
and I'm saying that we admit it as a challenge. I've just said that.
Admitting is different from apologizing.
I'm saying that we admit it as a challenge. And I'm saying that, Kafui, notwithstanding this challenge that we have been able to put 5.7 million children to schools. That's something to do. Notwithstanding the challenges, we have been able to build over 200 1D1 efforts that are currently operating under an economy that they will make us believe was doing well. They couldn't put one factory to run for 3 seconds or 1 hour. They went to commercial sugar factory and commissioned the factory. It never produced 1 cup of sugar.
Have you guys made it succeed?
Under an economy.
Are you not leasing it?
Under an economy that's challenged, we are providing over 100 hospitals. Under an economy that's challenged, I'll tell you, they are under an economy that's challenged. I'll give you a list of hospitals that we. Hold on. 8 years. Go to Trinidad. Please, I didn't suggest you. I didn't interrupt you. Hold on. I'm saying currently, there are many polyclinics. There are many, health infrastructure has been built by the government. Let me give you some. Let me give you some. So, go to Trinidad Hospital in the Chumakwa, started by MPP and completed. Go to Mansum Kwanta Hospital. Go to Kwapa Hospital in Swami Constituency. Go to Sabonum Hospital by NPP and completed.
When was it started?
Oh,
when was it started
by NPP.
When?
Started by NPP.
When was it? We are talking about 8 years now. What you're talking about 8 years?
Started by NPP. So when was it started?
I said when was it started?
Please don't interrupt me. Please.
Because you are talking about 8 years record of Akufo-Addo. We are not talking about 16 years of
Go to the Bonso Hospital. Go to Nswaim. Go to Wasadunko Hospital, Menfi West District.
Are these like 111 hospitals?
No, different.
These
entirely different.
They were all started 16 years ago. Which one? When was that's what I'm asking you.
I'm giving you.
Yes, when
Go to Bogoso.
They abandoned it and then they've come to complete it.
Go to Jumapo. Go to Pong Hospital. Go to Sefi. All these things have been completed. All these have been completed. And I've got more lists here. Let me give you more. I've got more lists here. Let me give you more.
But I have some reactions.
Let me give you more.
All right,
hold on. Yes, hold on.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you give them time.
Oh, but
No. You gave him 7
7
minutes. You gave him 8. You should give me 9. See.
But he's spoken for about 10 minutes.
You gave me 9. See, go to a quantum rap. Go to Bogoso. Go to Elugu. Go to Boho.
You've made the point.
These are new hospitals begun by NPP and completed by NPP. I've got over 37 here. Look, go to Sege Polyclinic. Go to Oduma Polyclinic.
In spite of the
go to
apologies,
Ashama.
you guys
In
are doing well.
spite of the challenge, we're having all these things.
I don't want to react to these two MPP guys. These two MPP guys.
All right.
Now,
these are not two MPP guys.
I know the reason why I'm saying that, and my brother will forgive me for referring to him as an MPP. He knows the reason why I'm referring to him as an MPP. You see, this 2024 elections is about credibility. We have to look at it from that point. Who are we voting for, and how credible are these people? You ask a very simple question. Health infrastructure, hospitals, 8 years. You are unable to pinpoint even one hospital that you started and completed. He listed from 16 years ago. Please.
I have listed some.
Please, you were asked the achievement of Akufo-Addo Bawumia. And you went back all the way to Kufuor and enumerated what Kufuor started.
And what you abandoned.
I would like
you abandoned in 8 years.
Please, respect me. I would like just to draw attention to something. I will not go to Mills. I will not go to Jerry Lawrence. I will just take to John Mahama. If you ask me about hospitals that John Mahama built and completed, I can give you a litany of them.
Give it.
Obvious one. University of Ghana Medical Center.
It wasn't Mahama.
No, there you are.
If you want to be fair.
Then you want to be fair. Kufuor came to compete it.
Yes. This was there already.
Phase
two.
You
were failing to open it.
We came to
that was
compete
when
phase
a demonstration happened.
You don't have no idea.
Please. So we are talking about credibility here. If you ask me, he's talking about they haven't done something and then asking for people to give them another mandate. Two things they will always mention: NHIS and free SHS. One started by Kufuor, other one started by or maybe continue by Akufo-Addo. These are the only things that will always go to. That's what they will go to. But meanwhile, if you look at what they promised to do, is that what they have done? You talk about one village, one dam. Give me one dam that is functional, that is solving the problems that you thought was there. And no. I talked about credibility. Remember, I said this election is about credibility. Credibility of that person who is saying we should vote for him. And you have mentioned one dam. And
let me ask you a question though.
Yes.
I mean, it's all nice to be comparing your records here. We built this, you didn't build this, we are better than you, we are not better than you. But are you really putting your finger on the pulse of the people who will be deciding your fate on the 7th of December? I mean, the people, if you claim that people are going through tough times, and what does a competition between two parties have? How does that put any money in somebody's pocket? How does that give anybody any hope that things will get better? I mean, this competition that you are having right now.
Creating any competition. Your mama recognized that there's hardship in the country, and that hardship is as a result mainly of the joblessness of the people. We were just talking about almost 2 million people who are doing virtually nothing, who are youth on the streets.
Give us policy from John Mama. Give us some. According
to the Ghana Statistical Service, there are almost 2 million people who are doing nothing. They are not in school, they are not trained, they don't have any employable skills.
Solutions.
So the man says that I'm coming to implement 24-hour economy.
There you are.
To expand the productivity of the people, unleash the energies of the youth so that everyone can have a job to do. When companies who operate within the 24-hour economy enclave are given tax incentives to employ more people. So the man already recognizes that there's a problem, and the problem is unemployment. And I'll solve the problem by implementing 24-hour economy. So it is not about competition. He has done it before. At least we know what Jomama has done. You came to Cape Coast and promised the people harbour. You have not given them the harbour. Meanwhile, you are saying that we should give you another mandate to implement something else, which is not a harbour. How do we trust you? You promised us one district, one factory. We cannot point the factories. At least in my region.
He listed a few.
At least in my region, they always say Eku juice in my region. That's the only one they talk about.
I'll give you more.
Eku juice is already in existence. I'm talking about my region now. Eku juice was already in existence. Even when I was young, that factory was operating. You only came to embrace it. You have failed in that. You promised us one village, one dam.
Aren't you allowed to continue things that were already there?
Yes, we are allowed to continue things that are already there. And that is why I am happy.
Just like they came to continue your education stuff and they called it.
They
You started education.
We started Christian high school.
No,
we started Christian high school. Every Ghanaian knows. Every Ghanaian knows. The child in school knows.
You see,
they can't claim it.
This is why I will continue to say that. You can't claim it. When you compare Jomama with Baumia.
So hold on. So if they came to improve if you came to improve on the education system, that's not an achievement to you.
For example,
it's not an improvement.
See,
free education is not an improvement on the education that was around.
Free education is an improvement on the education system in this country.
Exactly.
But for you to say we came to consult high school,
Ghanaians don't care about who took what the credit. They just want good education.
They care. They care. Why are we here?
So the competition is.
Why are we here?
Ghanaians are interested in this competition.
Why are we here?
Okay.
We need to sell ideas to many people. That's what we're here.
Allow me to finish.
Go ahead.
But you've had a lot of time.
No. I was
wrap up quickly.
You see,
you're using a lot of time.
Wrap up.
You are talking about what touches the heart of the people, and we are saying that what touches the heart of the people.
You say credibility. That's your point.
No, I say jobs. But jobs provided by who? Promised by who? The person who is conveying the message. You are a journalist. You know. The credibility of the person conveying the message matters a lot in the believability of the message.
Okay.
So if Baumia says I'm coming and I'm going to give you jobs, and Jomama says I'm coming to give you jobs, Mahama has told you how I'm going to provide the jobs through the 24-hour economy. How are you going to provide your jobs?
Okay.
And then when you are asked how are you going to do it, then you say digitalization. How does digitalization bring the jobs?
You don't understand it clearly.
I don't understand. It was the NDC that started this digitalization. You know.
And that brings jobs.
That's what I have not said. That brings jobs. Digitalization.
You are saying how would it bring jobs? Now you get NDC started. That didn't bring jobs.
Look, if you promise, Kafi, do you know how much about this?
Kafi, give us some time.
Do you know how much
all the time. Give us some time. Give us some time. Give us some time.
12,000 Ghana cedis. If you are talking about giving me credit, or giving it to me on credit to pay. Do you know how many years I'm going to pay off this phone?
What's wrong with that?
What?
What's wrong with that? People get house on mortgage, pay over 20 years and 15 years. What's wrong with that?
So I pay this phone in about 30 years.
Oh, look at you.
And you expect once I use this phone for 30 years?
How can you pay
for 30 years?
You say I'm going to pay it in installments. 1 CD, 2 CDs.
I mean, in installments.
Worth of phone, I'm going to pay 1 CD, 2 CDs.
Because you use 12,000 Ghana cedi phone. Think of the ordinary man who buys 800 Ghana phone. The ordinary man who buys 1,000 Ghana phone. The ordinary man who buys 500, 200 items.
Of how many years?
You are thinking about yourself. You have 12,000 Ghana phone.
And
you're in a position. You claim you're in hardship. 12,000 Ghana phone. 12,000 Ghana phone.
I can afford. I don't depend
12,000 Ghana phone by yourself. We are thinking about the many who want to afford
800 Ghana cities. One city per month. How many years will you use to pay it off?
So we're thinking about.
This is not credible. You're only throwing
12,000 Ghana phone.
Your man is so credible. The Baumia is so credible. What is the problem?
12,000 Ghana phone.
All right. So if I were to buy a 200 CD phone, how long would I be paying?
Exactly.
Okay. So let's assume that 200 Ghana. All right. Even in let's say in a month. Okay. So let's say a year. If you pay 1 CD every day,
how much would it be?
1 CD every day is what 300 Ghana cedis.
No. He says 1 CD a month. That's what Baumia said. Are you changing this?
1 CD every day is what
No. He says 1 CD a month, please.
And I'm saying that if they give it to you,
are you changing the promise?
No, hold on. He gives 200 Ghana cedis. Pay over a period.
It says now, 1 CD a month.
What Baumia said also, you must understand, is figurative. If today you hold a 12,000 Ghana cedi phone, and tomorrow Baumia comes, and can go and get the same phone and deposit just 200 Ghana cedis. That's roughly 1 CD for you.
But he says
roughly 2 CD for you.
He's going to pay.
That's 2 CD for you. Hold on. This is the quote. We will make mobile phones accessible, and my government will partner with phone manufacturers so that Ghanaians can afford them on credit and pay 1 or 2 CDs every month.
Exactly.
That's possible. It's happening now in India.
1 or 2 CDs.
It's happening now. There are $12 phones in India.
But you are buying you are buying a phone. You are paying a phone for 1 CD.
Kafi, hold on. Are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware for those?
Yes. So that's 12 cities a month.
Kafi, are you aware? Are you aware? Are you aware for friends who come from UK with all these phones on credit?
A $10 phone.
You can actually you go and get a phone. You're paying $10.
Okay.
Or say $15. You can be paying every month. It can be a 2-year contract or 3-year contract. You're paying. At a point, a new phone comes. Don't go and swap for a higher phone. You can go and swap it. Even before you get to 3 years.
Okay.
But
you understand me?
Would you ask this
and so I'm saying
me?
that the system is going to put in place. It's going to allow for this to be done very easily.
So people will be paying 1 CD or 2 CDs a month.
I'm saying it's figurative. It depends on what phone you buy.
Okay, so the cheapest phone is how much? Let's say a 200 CD phone or a 100 CD phone.
Yes.
100 CD phone, even for 1-2 CDs a day, that's 50 months. That's a lot of months.
Oh, that's all 2 CD a month.
Yes.
We're talking about 24 Ghana CD. Yes. 24 Ghana CD and what? 48 in 2 years.
4 5 years.
What's wrong with that?
No, but by the time that 4 5 years is up, the person would have bought about 3 more phones because that type of phone will not even last for 1 year.
Because by that time we are doing the economy so well they can buy 5 phones.
You could not do the economy well for 8 years. Are you now going to promise a better economy? When your person is now not talking about the economy?
Even MTN is running that credit system already.
Okay, well, how do they do it?
It's scoring.
Tell me.
Now, there are people who take normal loans from MTN.
Okay.
You take MTN loans, it's over a month, 100 cities. Once you're able to pay within that period,
yes.
The next time you want to take the loan, they tell you, oh, you qualify for say 300 Ghana cedis.
Then they give you a bigger loan.
Exactly.
Yes.
You understand me? It's a form of scoring. It's a form of rating.
Okay.
But when Baumia comes on a national level, all these, financial institutions, all these telcos will tap into that data.
You people are just lying to Ghanaians.
Okay.
You people are just lying. You are trying to lie your way again into power. They are just lying.
You want to go to parliament. You want to go to parliament. You must show some decorum, please.
No. But you interrupted. You didn't
go to parliament. Show some decorum.
You're just lying back again.
Mr. Anand, you are being disrupted.
Show some decorum, please.
Mr. Nobi, come in.
Thank you very much, King Kaf. I think what is...
You are stuck in the middle of these two guys, man.
And that's exactly what they've done to this country. Poor understanding of policy, lack of, candor and honesty, even in the policy conversation. To even admit...
You say you're his cousin.
No, to even admit, if I believed in the path, I would have continued with you. I've moved because I no longer believe in that, yes. To even admit when things do not go right, and to even apologize. A few facts here. My brother started very well. Nice motivational speech. In fact, he did better. Both he and his candidate did better than Emmanuel Daitumi Except that the day to me kind of rhetoric does not develop any country.
What is the day to me kind of rhetoric?
Motivational speaking. It develops no space. If it were so, all those of us that day to me spoke to in secondary school would be billionaires by now.
You didn't practice what he told you.
Thank you.
But what he told us was not practicable. Like this promise of mobile phone, as we have established here. Please, and that's the problem with motivational speaking.
People have succeeded.
It's important because I know a lot of people can relate to it. But moving to the facts.
He touched people.
He touched people, yes.
Yeah. You didn't. We were not touched, but please don't allow those who were not touched.
Moving to the facts. He said that what? About half of the people who are in secondary school today would have been home, but for free SHS. That is not true. As at 2017, September, when the policy started implementing, the only number of people per the audit that were home out of the 800,000 that were in school was 90,000. That's just about 10%.
So you were
please.
You were talking about those.
Please.
One day you'll be in Parliament.
No, don't worry.
We need that decorum that you're asking him
to
have. Yeah, one day you'll be an MP.
That's just about 10%.
It's incorrect, but go ahead.
The promise of 111 was in April 2020. It was to be completed within a year. That's the promise of the president. It has been 4 years plus, and not even a single one completed. And he wants us to applaud him. What kind of inefficiency is that? I mean, as for my brother here and President Mahama, what I do not understand is how either of them could mention their candidates' names with the word credibility in the same sentence. Oh, have you forgotten about Woyombe, Smarties, STS Korea, and the likes? It is no. So the transformation that Ghanaians want has not happened because we have not had credible leadership. And that is the difference that Alan Martin brings.
Has he sent his form to apply?
It's still being processed.
Okay.
But the most important thing is that it does not matter. And he made a statement that the people in the Futu, majority of them are NDC. I do not think that there's any womb that is marked NDC in this country.
A womb?
There's no womb that is marked NDC in this country. And it is that kind of misunderstanding and that kind of primal thinking that's informed their politicking.
Okay.
What Alan Martin, the movement for change, is saying is that we have not seen development in 32 years because of this approach. The most powerful tool that a government has is policy. And he has used policy, at least in the automobile industry, to get us about 7 automobile manufacturing companies in this country. Through 1D, 1F, he's been able to create 160,000 jobs. Through his policy, he's been able to attract $150 million grant, plus a $30 million grant, and an industrial village is being constructed in Ashanti region, and the likes. That is what brings transformation to a space. Now, the biggest point of all of this is because he's got the credibility to be able to do these things, and that is what is required. Not a confusion.
I can see that MFC are trying to bite some of your achievements, just like the way NDC is also biting your free SHS. They are biting your 1D, 1F.
It's not surprising.
If it's taking more than 4 years to implement a policy, just apologize. That's inefficiency.
They say success has
what level of inefficiency?
Yes. When you're succeeding, everybody wants to associate. And that's why it's not surprising that whatever we have started
how can you talk success with this nepotism, corruption, and cronyism that is
I'm very quiet for you. Now you're talking.
No, he hasn't. They hijacked the show for a long time. He should apologize for the president's daughter's looting of this country. No, but you should apologize. And he's parrying to try. I'm not even an ever.
No, but you are Ghanaian.
Yes, but so let's speak our English. That's what the problem is. Let's continue.
It's okay.
Talk about credibility. Credibility. John Mahama was the person who went to Harvard and admitted to the world that Ghana and Africa was suffering because of the COVID impact. He went to admit it. The videos are there. And yet he comes to Ghana and says, "Oh, COVID hasn't done anything," because he respects the white man that he respects his own people. So he went to Harvard in front of white people. He says COVID has hit Africa very hard, including Ghana. Because Ghana is not in Asia. Ghana is in Africa. Back to Ghana and come and look into our face and tell us COVID has done nothing. That's such disrespect for your own people. John Mahama is the person who says that if I have 2 billion Ghana cedis, I will not send any extra child to school for free. Today, he wants to come into power. So he says, "Oh, I will expand it." John Mahama is the person who says that me in power, even if you cost me my presidency, I will not, I will cancel teacher training allowance and nurse training allowance. Today, he wants to come to power. He says, oh, I will do all this for you. That is somebody who's not credible. That is somebody who takes people for granted. That is somebody who disrespects the Ghanaian. That is somebody who thinks we have short memories. We don't have short memories. We remember everything. And we'll keep reminding the people of Ghana, we'll keep reminding John Dramani Mahama. He will not toy with us.
Yes.
One last point. Credibility is when, not being credible, is when you are part of a party. Something goes against you, you jump ship and accuse the party.
The things they
but look at him. Today, if he had won, if he had won the flagship of our party, would he have jumped out?
That's exactly the point. The reason why I said the two MPP guys. Alan Chamantin was part of the MPP. He has been a minister under both Kufuor and Akufo-Addo. Yes. A cabinet minister.
Yes. Yes.
He started from being.
No, we know the history. So
yes.
Go ahead.
So he cannot say that he is credible. He is part of the MPP. They are the same people. Okay. Now, when we talk about credibility, he has spoken about so many things. COVID, we all know. Everywhere I go, all over the world, I know that COVID had impact in society. The fact that people died, so many people died, is an impact. Okay? So every country has been impacted by COVID. But COVID did not impact on Ghana more than Cote d'Ivoire. COVID did not impact Ghana more than Togo. Togo, half the size of Ghana. COVID did not impact Ghana more than Benin or even Nigeria. We talk about corruption in Nigeria. Everybody knows that. So the point is that if you say you are the economic messiah and you are credible, and so we should vote for you, and you could not manage your own economy, don't come back and tell us that we should give you another time and you make it better. I have seen a picture of a wolf who was addressing sheep, and he was telling them that, look, vote for me. And the moment you vote for me, I will turn myself into a vegetarian. That is Dr. Bahamiya. Dr. Bahamiya telling the sheep, he is a wolf. He is not turning, he is not changing. But he is telling them that, vote for me. When you vote for me, I'll turn myself into a vegetarian. Bahamiya is a liar. He is a recognized liar worldwide. That when he says John Mahama is a liar, like coming to on a platform, like come to Cape Coast and promising Cape Coast people that I'll build a harbour for you, and yet he did not build a harbour. He's coming back to them and promising another thing. He's a liar.
My concluding remarks that Ghanaians do not deserve the two liars.
All right,
leave it for us.
No, but they are saying they are liars, and Ghanaians deserve better than liars.
You are part of them already. Alan Chamantin has been a cabinet minister for so many years.
Ghana deserves better than liars.
It's a liar pro max. It's a liar pro max, liar pro max.
Liar pro max.
And then your president, who promised us everything, now is not able to deliver, and he's leaving office, handing over to his mate, who doesn't have a license to drive the vehicle. That is very poor.
You want to go to parliament, you must control your emotions.
I'm not emotional.
Can you keep quiet for me?
Hey,
can you keep quiet for me?
I'm not being emotional. No, please. I'm only pointing out to them how Bahamiya has lied, and even children are seeing Bahamiya as a liar. Lying as getting his body. When you see Bahamiya,
just as corruption has consumed
Mahama. So that was lying. He cannot be president. I cannot say if Bahamiya is a president. How can a Bahamiya become a president?
The host leaves his seat.
Come on, guy.
The host leaves his seat to come and calm you down.
Please.
No, but you are not the one to tell me.
I'm the one
you can't control yourself.
Okay. I'm the one to
and you want to lead this country.
Please.
Hey.
Please.
That was to say,
Don't say anything again. Drink some water. Drink awake.
That's what else we say.
It's a question. I beg you. Please. Drink more water. Pocho. Please.
I'm fine. Please.
Messages. You see, now the people are even telling you that you should stop the noise. Go on GTV. If
If I don't go read messages, Seth, I finish. The segment is over. James Kofi Annan, Courage Nomi in the middle. Kweku Kwashi. Headlines is over. I'm going to hand it over to Alan, because I know if I start reading messages, they're going to insult you people. You know, go good. So for your own safety, I'm going to throw it over. Headlines is over. Guys, have a great day. There's peace and quiet in the studio.
Thank you, Ghana. Thank you.
And we're going over to the other side where we're having our constituency focus on Okaikwe South constituency. So Daryl Alantego is going to come up in a short while to do exactly that for you. You are watching GTV Breakfast. And my name is Kafui Day. It's been quite a loud morning, but it's allowed. It's part of our work, you know. It's called Occupational Hazards. And this is how we do it right here on GTV Breakfast. If you should see the way they are shaking their hands backstage, you go ball. I tell you, you go ball with these guys, man. Because they shake hands for the back there, you know. So please don't mind the fire too much. You know what to do. We have 123 days to election 2024. On the 7th of December, you know what to do. You have your decisions to make. Please take your decisions. And yeah, you're watching GTV Breakfast. And the way I'm talking like this is because I'm getting them out of the studio so that Alan can come right in and do his stuff. Here he comes, Daryl Alantego, and it will be much less louder than the segment that I'm just ending. Daryl, over to you, brother.
I wonder how you do it.
Look at your camera. How we go do it, man? How we go do it? We go do it like so, no? Yeah.
Zooming up from the lawyer, and the pro-man. I didn't say liar. That's not what I said. I said lawyer. Don't quote me. I said lawyer. Anyway, we're zooming straight into Okaikwe South, where this morning, in our build-up to 2024, we are keeping an eye as a constituency focus, and Okaikwe Central is the place, Okaikwe South is the place we're currently zooming off to. Okaikwe South borders parts of the Kanishi Market, Kanishi Polyclinic, goes all the way up towards the industrial area, comes right up and then cuts off with part of the north towards Abeka, also to the east, to the west. Okaikwe South goes cuts through part of Bubuashi if you live around these areas. We're in your constituency this morning and we're asking you, what do you have? What do you want? How do you get it? Who's in charge? Your sitting MP is Dakwa Newman MP. The Honourable Member of Parliament, Dakwa Newman, is your MP. And if we go into Okaikwe South constituency, some of the areas we're looking at is demography, housing, health care, employment, youth employment. We're looking at challenges, and then healthcare delivery as well as education. So let's go quickly and start with demography. It is a youthful population, and the divide between male and female is skewed slightly towards a female, and so the female population is much greater or bigger over there, and the population itself, more than 50% of that population is youthful and somehow below the age of 35. And so if you enter into Okaikwe South constituency, you're more than likely 1 out of 3 persons you would engage would be somebody below the age of 35. It has a huge population. It's part of the Greater Accra or Accra metropolitan area, and so you can imagine what it will be like. Let's look at the next on our watchful screen, where we are moving into housing. It is also one with a huge private housing. Public housing isn't much over there. So what you want to look at is the cost of renting or the cost of acquiring a house within the Okaikwe South constituency. It is average rent within that constituency is between 600 for a single room self-contained and 1,800 for a chamber and hall or a 2-bedroom with a hall. That is the kind of housing you're looking at. And it has a few youthful programs to addressing youth challenges relating to employment as well
as health. And so the housing challenge within the constituency is such that because of the balance of employment, I call it balance of employment, when we get there you'll understand, because of the balance of employment, it is not easily affordable for a young person between the ages of 25 and 35 to be able to acquire their own home. However, if they can't afford it, so long as they're employed, they can take out rent for either a single room or a chimney.
Yeah, so GCX, Ghana Commodities Exchange, yeah, so...
Rent for either a single room or a chamber and hall facility. Let's move on to the next one. Next one we're looking at is youth employment. The economic activities within the constituency is relatively huge. You have industrial areas, you have the Kaneshie market, and then you have the individual privately owned shops and also other businesses. It is one that provides a huge opportunity so long as you're able to match the requirement for employment. There is also what we refer to as job mismatch. In that case, someone is qualified with a degree but doesn't have a job. It does not mean that there isn't a job for a degree holder. What that relatively means is that they may have qualified with a degree, could be first class or other, but there are no jobs in the areas they graduated at, and so they may have to either switch and look for something else, or in the constituency and speaking to some of the guys, they tell me, oh, you know what, there are plenty of jobs here, the industrial areas provides a huge opportunity, but what we don't have is they don't accept us. The locals don't get the jobs, people from outside, and that is in connection with job mismatch. There are jobs available, but there aren't qualified ones to take them up. If you're amazing, you don't want to look for a job in an industry. You want to go into somewhere, you don't want to look for a job in a factory. You want to go practically and carry out your job as amazing. And youth programs addressing employment challenges. What I picked up also is how the, the two leading political parties, each and every one of them outdoing the other with what they call programs to addressing youth unemployment. Whether they are achieving intended result, only time will tell. Let's move on to the next one. We have education. Interesting. There are a few basic schools within the Okankwe South constituency. Unlike part of Ablekuma and parts of Ayawaso, where you have tertiary institutions within the constituencies, these have only from basic to second cycle institutions. And so if you graduate from second cycle, you may have to look further afield to get into tertiary. There is also private and public access to education within the constituency. Literacy, watch out for this. It is critical in that although there are the first or the second cycle schools within the constituency, literacy rate is not more than 60%. And so averagely, you're looking at 45 to 55% of literacy rate within the Okankwe South constituency. And remember, it's an urban constituency in the Greater Accra region, and so that must be alarming if you belong to that constituency. Challenges, knockout employment and knockout unemployment, also knockout infrastructure, domestic infrastructure. There aren't recreational places available immediately for the wider constituency. However, there is the Kaneshie Youth Sports Complex, which was then renamed to Azuma Nelson Sports Complex. That is only for the privileged few. Why is this so? You must be somehow a known, recognized sports person to use the facilities, but you're welcome to visit and nose around. That is okay. And so for recreation, there isn't much for recreation within the constituency, and so that forms part of the challenge. There are also places of convenience, public places of convenience. Public transport is relatively okay. There isn't that much trouble with public transport. Healthcare has its own challenges it poses to the constituency in that there are private facilities within. There is only one public, which is the Kaneshie Polyclinic. And now let's look at that. So I mentioned as part of the challenges, I'd already mentioned healthcare. Now environment public, which is the Kaneshie Polyclinic. And now let's look at that. So I mentioned as part of the challenges, I'd already mentioned healthcare. Now environment issues. disposal of waste or refuse. There are no recycling plants within the constituency, and so also are there no recognized places for waste disposal, and so people do them willy-nilly. So long as nobody catches them, they'll do it. Crime and security related to unemployment. Crime is also average within the constituency. Let's look at healthcare. I mentioned private facilities available, and so you have the Kanashi Polyclinic as the known facility available within the constituency. There is also a common health issue, which is the usual suspect, the hypertension, the high blood pressures, and also diabetes. That is part of the statistics available for us. Public health initiatives are rolling out slowly to addressing some of these challenges. When we got into the constituency, these are some of the things we picked up. People told us, well, a few guys told us some of these, and let's go quickly into it and listen to what these guys had to tell us about what they feel being constituents, what they perceive as the constituency challenges, and then we go into looking at the balance of or power or voting behaviors and patterns. Good afternoon. Me patro e friend me Darrell Tego, me free GBC, me patro mo di nchire me kakra.
Afa yima no tu akwa.
Me patro so.
Daniel Yeboa.
Daniel Yeboa, me sremo o Kankwe South constituency ha na motie.
Patro eti ha.
Ahe na moto aba.
Patro.
Me patro se me bisa se efa no ngumesua education, ayarehwe healthcare, and afi housing accommodation, and employment. Muhunu sen e constituency ha.
Okay. Education is any problem with him. Say, I'm here to schools who are area. If you healthcare, no, you were Constituency Polyclinic, Penewaha. To be back home, Jacobе boy. Yeah, and a Juma no sono. A Juma war who can't quit her. It's no more a day some before. Who come no. This one will be a answer on my farm. Youth no need any Juma name. About it for more. No more yet more more. So I don't make me a my so Bano no in Australia, Hannah. It might be brave. You should be only why. Wouldn't penny be our one as soon will be over. I'm for wage mano. And then I did quite higher, say, Mumbashes I didn't my yes, and the higher power with me side. Scakram walk age my side, and the healthcare and so the Constituency Polyclinic pay. Anyone, and so much may be a Kawa Maya. Mr. Beboy.
Medasi Papa Sony GTV, Eddie Nkomo. Thank you so very much. And we're looking at voting behavior within the national or the nation Ghana. You realize in 1996, the NPP boycotted parliament. And so even though there is a clear presidential surge within the constituency, there isn't as much as for parliament. But you notice that in 2004, they almost nearly annihilated the NDC, giving only 24% of votes to the NDC, with the NPP charging at 59.1. Go all the way down to 2016 and 2020, where the records were really made. But it's quite interesting how in 2020, you will find that 2016, almost got the NDC once again pushed to the bottom, but there was a charge and an increase of about 2 or 1% on their performance in 2016 as 2020 against 2016. Let's move on to the next one. Move forward for me. I think my, okay, so let's look at balance of power in parliament. Balance of power in parliament, we have each of them having 137 seats. But then we are told there is a majority in parliament. Tell you why there is that majority. One member of parliament went independent, defecting from the NPP stock and getting themselves into parliament as an independent candidate. And when they arrived in parliament, they decided they were going to align or do business with their brothers and sisters within the NPP NPP. And so that created the NPP majority. It is a non-existent majority because this individual may or can decide at any point to go independent and create a void in parliament. So you have 137 seats equally. But look at the... Okay, so I guess we may have to end here and continue, God willing, tomorrow. I'll hand over back to King Kaf for the next discussion.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show. Live from GBC.
hospital. So it is a hospital that has done a lot for this country in terms of the provision of specialist health care, in terms of training of health professionals and research, among other things. 70 years next year, regrettably, it does not have the benefit of a comprehensive renovation. And I think our president said this morning speaks to the fact that it's a hospital that has done so much for this country, but it has not gotten the kind of attention that it needs in terms of expansion, modernization, upgrading of its facilities, despite serving as the main tertiary facility for the northern half of this country.
You're absolutely the best person for this job. I mean, in the 2 minutes, you've given us the history of the hospital and the kind of impact that Konfanochi is making for not just Ashanti region, but for Ghana. I'll come to someone in a short while, but if you're wondering what the state of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital is, well, I won't say it. Check this out.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true. You walk a lonely road, oh how far you are from
That's some serious state of disrepair and neglect. And it's so some people are just wondering, but we hear, Mr. Frimpong, that organizations like yours have IGF, internally generated funds. Konfanochi must be making a lot of money. Why can't you use your money to fix the hospital?
Kafu, you are right that you make a lot of money in terms of IGF.
Can you tell us how much you make?
It's around between 1.6 million and 2 million a week.
A week?
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, a week. Wow. But one thing we have to note that there's a healthcare financing policy of this country. And what it states is that all capital expenditure projects, like infrastructure, equipment, are the responsibility of the state. And so what the hospitals like Konfanochi are allowed to charge is just enough to buy consumables and to run
like gloves.
That is basically what the tariff is about. The HR component of the cost of healthcare is also picked by government.
What is HR?
The human resource, like salaries, compensation, and the rest. And so when you are given a tariff, that tariff is minus your capital expenditure, is minus your salaries, because the government takes care of those things. So the money that we are raising is because of the volume of our operations. It is not money that is meant for capital expenditure projects like the comprehensive renovation modernization.
From those pictures that we saw.
From those pictures that we saw.
Okay.
Those things should have been done by the states. And indeed, every government, you see, when we first launched this project, one of our members of the Hill Konfanochi project is a resident in Accra. He had just stepped off from the plane and a man, an elderly person, met him. And he said, I saw you. Are you part of the project? He said, I saw you on TV. Please keep it up. The first time we tried to do this was 40 years ago during President Liman's time. That they tried to raise money beyond the allocation of government to renovate the hospital in the field. So every government, at least since Liman, had made an attempt because the governments know that it's their responsibility. Regrettably, that has not succeeded. And the hospital's IGF is basically for the day-to-day running of the hospital, how to keep services for the benefit of patients. you don't have to run out of consumables. So it's the money that we raise that we use to buy everything. Okay. We don't get medicine. We don't. In fact, we go to the market, the same market that private hospitals go to buy consumables for healthcare. So the money that we raise on the weekly or daily basis are the things, are the resources that we use to buy the things that we need to provide service. They are not for capital expenditure. Okay. And that's how come that when the state failed over the years, we've had to resort to this current approach that we adopted under the Hill Confanochi.
Fantastic. And that brings me to my second guest here, who is the chairman of the Hill Confanochi Project, Samuel Edu Boachi. Talk to us about Hill Confanochi Project. What is the big idea? How much you want to raise? Over what time?
Thank you very much, Kaf, and thank you to your esteemed audiences out there. Thanks for the opportunity, GBC. Kaf, we are raising $10 million to bring back the glory of Confanochi Teaching Hospital to serve as a good place worthy of seeking health care.
Do you have a deadline? When do you want the $10 million to drop?
Per the paperwork, it was a 24-month project.
2 years.
However, you realize that a renovation is more difficult than starting up. Mm-hmm. So we, going into it, realized that we may have to extend it to a 36-month project. Mm-hmm. The major factor being the fact that the hospital is still in operation, and how we would have wished that we had a block that has been made vacant for us to work on. It is not just too okay. We are not able to get that. So we, as the hospital is still in operation, the work is progressing steadily.
A bit like how Greater Accra Regional Hospital was done. It was operating while they were fixing it.
Okay. So that's where we are. So we are raising $10 million to do this, and under the inspiration of the Chief Executive Officer, Professor Chadem. And now let me tell you about the hiccup, as you rightly asked. He thought about this, we talked about it, and then we went to see His Majesty. When he was going, he asked me to come along with us. I said, no, he should go alone. He said, no, I'm at Menchia, but wherever you are, you driving? I said, I'm in funeral cloth. He said, no, please come. So I had to put on a T-shirt, and I joined him there. Now, this is it. When we had gotten to Otumfo to have a conversation about the plan, coincidence of idea, now Otumfo started telling us, he has been done what needs to be done. And this is how he goes about it. The Confanochi, Senka companies here were around here, Kike Komo Buma, any mining companies, commit me about Babisum, Banke TMSC Confanochi, because Senesi Kone there. So now what we went to tell His Majesty, he was now telling us.
Saying that if the companies around and all the mining companies.
So we mobilized them, we could achieve something. Mm-hmm. So now we didn't have to tell him what we had gone to tell him. So now he owns it. Mm-hmm. And he tells, okay, so go and put the proposal together. When you are done, come back to me. I'll show you where to get the money. And this is exactly what he has done. And he is the one who is leading this.
So he's like a patron of the project?
No, it is his project. His project.
Okay.
He's the one who is leading it, and he's so passionate about it. Now, our biggest donor, this is how our first biggest donor came about. That is Jasmo Construction. Jasmo had gone to visit His Majesty, telling me he wants to do something. He said, no, go and talk to them, and then give me a feedback. So Jasmo came, we had a good conversation. He goes back to His Majesty and tells him that, look, I'm adopting one block. Boom. He's paying $1.2 million.
Another boom.
To support the project. So the money that we are raising, His Majesty is the one who is leading it.
Nice.
The second biggest donation, he had traveled and I received a call that go and see this person. He has spoken to me. He's coming on board. We went to the second person and he said, look, I've spoken to His Majesty. I'm also adopting the second block.
Wow.
So that is how come. So His Majesty is the one who is leading this. He is telling us where to go, and he has asked that wherever we are finding difficulty, we should come back to him.
What was the value of the second highest amount?
$1.2 million.
Matching grant.
Fantastic. So that was the initial cost per block.
Okay.
Now, the idea, after His Majesty has taken this up, we said, okay, we could get 1 million Ghanaians. If we are able to rally 1 million Ghanaians, then to donate 100 Ghana cedi each. That meant that would have raised $8 million, both home and abroad. So this is the strategy for us to be able to raise the $10 million to heal Confanochi as it is. Kwame makes a few points that the strategy or the importance of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital as it is. Now, when you come to Greater Accra, we are saddled with choices. We were privileged to have the Black Stars come play in Kumasi the last time that they paid a visit to Konfanochi. I'm sure a lot of you are aware. Now, this is what the chief executive told them. If you were playing in Accra Sports Stadium and touch wood, anything happened to any of you, if the ambulance that came to pick you, the ambulance could go to, it could go to 37, it could go to Bank Hospital, Kolebu, 37, Maritime, etc.
There's choice.
You have choices. But as you are in Kumasi, if anything happened, if it is not Konfanochi, it is Konfanochi. If it is not Konfanochi, it is Konfanochi. So Konfanochi is such a strategic hospital that needs that level of attention that we are given. It is right for you to ask if it is not government's responsibility or using the IGF. It is also good to announce that the development of a nation does not rest only on the government. So His Majesty's coming into it is timely, and we are very optimistic that this is very doable.
How much have you raised so far out of the 10 million target that you have set yourselves?
Currently, we have raised close to $4 million.
40%.
40% of our target. We must pat ourselves on the shoulder. We have done very well.
Big time.
Within 5 months, if you have raised $4 million to do this great project, I think that Ghanaians have done well. Our big donors, the people that have donated the pesos and all of that, we have to say a big thank you to them. One of the reasons why we are here.
If I close my eyes and imagine, I project myself into the future, I imagine that HICAP has raised the $10 million, what would that $10 million do?
It's a good vision to have, and that is our dream. You can see it with the visuals that we'll show you.
Okay, so let's see the video.
$10 million.
What the $10 million is going to buy.
This is what it's going to do.
All right.
So from the first video, you compare it to the second one. This is what the $10 million.
So this is what the $10 million will look like. Yes. Okay, so this is where this is
a ward.
This
will be a ward.
This is how the wards are going to look like.
Oh wow.
This is how our wards are going to look like. It looked too big, even for some of the staff members. They look at it and say, you think we can do this?
They have to dream big now.
And I've told them that they should mark, we are going to do this.
Yeah.
And as I speak, the ceiling works is being done.
Awesome.
Windows will be fixed. The nursing station will be brought. So we are targeting that by the end of August, middle of September, the first 2 demonstration wards will be available for His Majesty to come and inspect before the next acquisition. So as you can see, that's the ceiling work that is being done. So this is very doable. If we are able to raise this money, I tell you what, we will transform the environment of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital to become a good place that when you come, you are going to see
something like that. Mr. Fripo, how many wards are going to be coming out of this money?
The existing wards, all the existing wards are going to be touched.
How many wards?
We have about 32.
32 wards?
Yes.
So you touch all of them?
We are going to touch every one of them. You see, the visuals that you saw, the tail end, it is instructive to note that this is the first time in the history of the hospital, in the almost 17-year history of the hospital, that all the electrical wires are going to be replaced, they're going to be changed, all the plumbings are going to be changed, all the mechanical facilities are going to be replaced. Now every bed is going to have access to an oxygen port.
Good. In
the past, your bed will have to be on the wall before you can have access to an oxygen port. Those that were in the middle, they have access to a port. So whenever there was a need for an emergency resuscitation, the patient have to be moved.
Wow.
This time around, don't have to move the patient. Now all the toilets are going to be doubled. When Konfanochi started, it wasn't the 1,200 bed that we see. In fact, the growth of the hospital has been more of optimizing this existing space than the additional ones that we've gotten. You haven't gotten any. The inpatient facility have remained the same for almost 70 years.
Will the bed capacity increase with this?
It will not. Just that to provide modernized facilities
more quality services for 1,200.
So we've packed the walls a bit over the years. But what we are going to do is to improve other ancillary facilities like toilets. So whilst the number of patients in the ward had increased, in the past, the toilets that were given to us 70 years ago are the same that we are using. Now this project is going to double toilet facilities for every ward. And so it's going to make a major impact on the quality of service that we provide to our patients. For the first time, changing all these services that have been in existence and have become unreliable over the years, all because of passage of time.
Great stuff. I love it. I love it when we dream big like that.
Kav, let me top it up. You realize that the existing state, if you went to Konfanochi and let's say you were injured with your knee, you might come back with malaria, because there are no mosquito nets whatsoever.
Well, you came with a knee problem.
We came with a knee problem. Our window system is going to provide all of these things such that it will curtail all of these other things that you may not have brought that you'll be going home with.
Another significant thing is that in the past, whenever it rained, after the rain has stopped for a week or two, water will be still dripping into the walls. Because the concrete roof that was constructed in 1954 had deteriorated to the extent that there were a number of cracks. So whenever it rains, the accumulated water will be taking their time to drip into the walls, and it will be like that for minimum a week after the last rain.
It's a Gold Coast roof, man.
Yes.
54.
For the first time in so many years.
Wow.
That was the first phase that we did when this project started. For the first time this year, we've not experienced that. That roof have been fixed, and therefore patients and workers do no longer have to grapple with the discomfort of dripping water whenever it rains.
I mean,
so the projects already
started.
Making a positive impact.
We're glad. I mean, this looks like something that is going to be a game changer for healthcare delivery in the northern part of Ghana, from Ashanti upwards and all around. But I just want to know, people will be thinking, okay, you're going to raise $10 million. How are you going to account for this fund? Mr. Chairman, what assurances can you give to people that the money that people will give, and it's not just big corporates, because I'm sure individuals will be able to give, their money is going to be used well?
Thank you very much, Kav. I'll start this way. Kav, the committee that was set up by His Majesty, me being the chairman, we worked about 8 months prior to the launch. Up till now, I have not given anyone a penny. The committee comprises of representatives from Menchia, that is Otumfuo's Hiahine, key persons from Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, the Director of Finance, the CEO is part, the Director of Works, the Maintenance Head, the PRO is also part, and then the Regional Engineer, PWD, is the Chief Architect for this project, and then other persons within the fraternity that has given their all to this. Till date, the only thing that I have given them is when we go for a meeting, they drink water, and the water is provided by the Chief Executive Officer's office.
How often do you meet?
As and when the need arises, but we are always meeting. And we also have a lot of virtual meetings owing to some of our colleagues who have been around. Up till now, Kav, I am the one who is running this, haven't done this through. I'm using my personal car for this. Nobody has been paid a penny.
It's totally voluntary.
It's totally voluntary up till now. So we have done it for close to 1 year, 8 months, totally voluntary. So that should send a good signal to everyone who is watching us this morning. Number two, the committee's work is such that Otumfuo's audit committee, headed by Ohineba Asamoah Bonsu, Atenehine, is part of the project. He's a chartered accountant, a chief, and then he has his own auditing firm that is part of the project. Now, there are a few images that maybe I didn't share with the production team. We have received donations from school kids from creche. The chief executive had an opportunity to speak to some youth. In fact, he thought he was going to meet some youth to talk to. When he went there, the oldest was 11 years. After he had finished, they said they had a surprise for him. And these kids had gathered to give him 1,000 CD check.
Nice.
As their donation and their support to the project.
We love them.
Now, when these things come to mind, His Majesty has given us an opportunity to serve. Who would have the mindset not to be accountable? It's the more reason why we publish every donation that comes. The last 1 month, we published every donation, and then even the mobile money, 50 pesos and 1 cedi, are all on our website. Every expenditure on this is very clear, and it is directed towards the project.
Yeah.
The contractor who is doing this, who came on board, Kisat Group, said that he has seen what good we are doing, and therefore he's also coming on to support us. Everything that we are doing is 95% pro bono for all of it.
How do people give?
Thank you very much. Our mobile money platforms, the easiest for everyone to do, is available. And as you can see on the screen, we are rallying corporate Ghana to come on board. We have written a lot of letters, but not every company may receive a letter from us. Some of them will come voluntarily to us that, look, we want to come and support. Now, let me say this. Corporate Ghana's coming on board, Konfanoche having to have a footfall of 1,200 persons a day gives an opportunity for branding, etc. within the hospital. The hospital have been labeled, the line in ward have been labeled A, B, C, and D from its inception till now. Soon we are going to have to rename all the blocks into those who are donating.
Yeah, so you
put your name there. We're also going to have the walls of honor for all the donations that exceed a threshold of $1,000 and above. And the persons that have contributed, such as GBC, your Director General, who calls me telling me, hey, this is it. And in recent times, the frequency of our TVC is phenomenal. So everyone who is donating has something to show, they will have something to show at the hospital.
People can give in kind as well?
In fact, you can give in kind, except that you have to get to us so that we give you specifications.
Exactly.
Then you can tell us that this is what I also want to bring on board. Alrighty. So it is allowed for you to give in kind, but however, you have to liaise with the committee to be able to do this. Now, short code that everybody can do is *776 *1955 hash, as in when the hospital started the operation. *776 *1955 hash. And the normal common mobile money is 0544 1955 25. The 0544 is the MTN code. The 1955 is the Konfanoche's operation, and the 25 is His Majesty's anniversary.
It's a good number to remember.
Yes, please. Yes.
Awesome.
When you go to Fidelity or Prudential Bank, you ask for Hill Konfanoche account, it is available. Our social media platforms are very active. Whoever reaches out to us, we are able to come to you.
Hill Konfanoche.
Across
social media.
Across social
media.
media.
You're on TikTok too.
Not on TikTok.
Get on TikTok so the young guys can jump.
The young guys can jump.
Yes. I'll leave you with your concluding words, Mr. Frimpong, Head of Public Affairs, Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, HICAP.
Konfanoche Teaching Hospital has served this country very well. For a facility that has not seen major expansion, upgrading, and modernization over the years, but it has been able to do the kind of work that it has done. It means that if we're able to help this hospital to be back on its feet, its impact on the healthcare delivery system of this country is going to be enormous. Now, let me give you some statistics. Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, though it's not the largest in the country, is the most frequented by the National Ambulance Service. And this has been the case for years. Now, if you look at 2022, the end of year performance review report of the National Ambulance Service, 4,388 cases were brought to Konfanoche Teaching Hospital. Now, if you look through the list, 37 was 393. Kulibu was 1,595. Rate was 1,024. So if you combine all the numbers of the three biggest hospitals in Accra, they couldn't match what Konfanoche took catered for in terms of the number of cases that came. This should tell you that this is a hospital that has done a lot and it's continued to do a lot for this country. And I need all the support that it requires so that I can continue to serve the people of this country in terms of healthcare services, in terms of training of healthcare professionals, and other ancillary services in the tertiary healthcare space.
Thank you so much, Idawasi. Head of Public Affairs, Department, Kolbu Teaching Hospital, Mr. Kwame Frimpong. Mr. Chairman, Samuel Idubuachi, I'll leave you with the last word, 30 seconds.
Thank you very much, Kav. A big thank you to the GBC crew for this opportunity. I'll kindly appeal to all who are watching us this morning. Konfanoche, what we are doing, we need money. We should be able to all come on board to support this project. Corporate Ghana, churches, transport associations, identifiable groups, everyone. Because usually when I come to Kafu will give me, let's say, 1,000 cedis. But if Kafu combines his team, when they are coming, they can bring me 5,000 cedis. Let us all do this and bring good health care to the good people of Ghana. give us a call on our website, www.healconfanoche.org. Pick our information, call us, let's engage. Let's see what you can also do to bring this project into the completion that we are looking out for. And His Majesty, obviously, is very grateful to all who have donated, both small and big. We are very grateful to you once again.
Thank you. The chairman of the Heal Confanoche Project, Mr. Samuel Idumbuachi, seated with Kwame Frimpong, head of Public Affairs Department, Confanoche Teaching Hospital. Check them out on social media. It's the Heal Confanoche Project, aka HICAP. We wish you the very, very best. Greetings to Otumfo, His Majesty Asanteni, from all of us here, Lady Julia, and everybody. We thank you for your continued support for this. Don't you wish you had a fundraiser like Otumfo who says, listen, these people are ready, go, and then they give. I like it. It's wonderful. So we wish you the very best. We'll put in as much as we can to also support this project, and we thank you for that. Done with this segment right now. Just enough time to say good morning and happy birthday to Mercy Akoto from Medina Estate, celebrating your 40th birthday. We thank God for your life, and may your day be filled with joy, from Samuel Mensah of GPC. And our very own Lillian Owusu Mensah, celebrating her birthday today. August Bonds rock, and I am a witness. We've got Sige Suya coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast.
May it be an evening star, shines down.
to find out what makes it special. What makes it the special Sege kebab? Good morning and welcome again.
Okay, good morning to you. What to make Sege kebab special, especially the meat that we used to do it.
Okay. What's special about the meat?
The meat is very, very cow meat. It's cow meat. Yeah, it's cow meat. Right. And we used to kill the big cow meat, the castle of the cow meat. Okay. So that is why.
Okay. So how long has this kebab sport been here? How long has it been here?
Oh, I can't mention. Over 50 years or 60. I can't 60 years.
So it means, how old are you?
Me, I'm just 28 years old.
So you were born into this craft?
Yeah.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here almost 15 years now.
15 years. So is this like a family of kebab makers? How is this place? How is this place run?
Now we are family. Here we are family, but we can accept even non-family. Okay. We are welcome everybody to come and join us in order to expand the business.
Okay. And so if somebody is coming, what's the process? Is it just free? The person can just walk in and see you?
Just working and free.
Okay.
We are not taking anything from anybody.
Okay. Tell us about business. Has it picked up? Has it gone low? How is business like in recent times?
Recent time, the previous time, the business is very, very calm down small. But now, as we are facing a Safety Festival, so now the business is moving well. Yeah, it's picking up.
Okay, so there are Safotufiam Festival, which is celebrated by the Ga Adabe people, is fast approaching, and so Mr. Musa is telling us that sales have begun. Sales is picking up. So, what's interesting about this place? Tell us what's interesting about Sege. If somebody wants to visit, somebody wants to know what interesting thing will bring the person here.
It's very, very interesting. I can say Sege kebab.
Say what?
Sege kebab, only the Sege suya.
Only the
Sege suya. Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody wants to buy some of the suya, would you sell just the suya for the person?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what makes up the suya? What ingredients makes up the suya?
We use so many things to do the suya. Okay. Especially pepper. The pepper, and you can give it a no.
Okay.
The pepper that we use to mess, granules, garlic, ginger, spices, and so many things that we used to cook. Especially, we used to make the
So, if somebody wants to contract you for an event, a wedding party, are you available?
We are available. We can send our agent. We can't go all to go and attend this, but we can find another 2 person or 3 person to go and do whatever they need.
Okay. So usually, how much would it cost? Assuming I'm taking you to Accra, I'm taking you to Kanda. How much would it cost if you are going to move or you are sending some of your people to Accra? How much would it cost?
Oh, it depends how the work that you want to make me to do for you.
Okay.
It depends the work.
Okay. And let's talk about the meat too. Is it easy to get the meat or is it difficult to get the meat? And let's talk about the prices as well.
The meat is very easy because our people used to go bush and find the cows.
Okay.
They are buying cow from the bush. They will come and slaughter the cows so that we can get the meat. Sometimes it's hardly because sometimes we used to send the money to Ashama to bring the meat for us. Yeah. And we are selling one kebab to also 5 cedis.
One kebab is 5
cedis. Yeah.
Right. How much does one cow cost? How much does one cow cost?
One cow.
Yes.
So it depends how the cow is. Big cow, they are selling one cow about 7,000, 8,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the cheapest? What's the smallest?
Smallest is I would say 3,500, 4,000.
Okay. So the rest of Ghana is watching you right now. What would you want Ghana to know? What would you want the authorities to know? Is there a problem here in Sege? Probably you want the government to know about.
I can't say anything about that. Okay. I can't say anything because me, I'm not facing any problem in my workshop, so I can't say that I'm facing some problems so that I will let the government know about it. No.
Okay. And then, what do you want to tell the whole world about Sege?
I would tell the whole world about Sege. If you come Sege, or if somebody wants to come Sege, so make sure that you tell the person when the person is going back, he have to buy the Sege kebab for you, so that we will test it and see how good is it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Mr. Musa, can you take us through the different kind of meats on your table right now?
No.
So
this is the meat. This is the meat. This is the meat. Raw meat. This is the raw meat.
Okay.
This is the intestine. I'll cook it. We are cooking it before we put it on the stick.
Okay. When you cook it, what do you mean by cooking it? Like, do you put ingredients, tomatoes and pepper on things on it?
No, we just cook it.
Raw.
We just go raw.
Okay. And then which one is on the stick?
This one down is intestine. Intestine.
Okay.
Because we want people to test it at a soft. So that is why we used to cook it.
Okay.
Because people are complaining sometimes it's very, very hard. So that is why we used to cook it.
We've tasted some outside and it's very soft. So this is why it's soft.
Yeah.
Okay. And which one is this? Which part of the
this one? This one is the meat, raw meat.
Okay.
Raw meat.
So this one that has been cut.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have an idea in a day? Do you have an idea how many kebab sticks you sell?
Me, I myself, or the whole.
Yeah, the whole everybody here. Do you have an idea how many kebab sticks you sell?
I don't have the idea, but I can say me myself. I will say me myself. I can sell 500 or 600 sticks a day.
500 or 600 sticks a day. Oh wow, wow. So on a good business day, how much would you make? Say on a day when there's a Constituency is here, how much will you make?
So I don't actually know how much I'm going to earn before the end of the festival.
Okay. So if people want to contact you, how do they reach you? You can put are you on social media?
I'm on social media.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
No, I'm not on Instagram, but I'm in Facebook.
You're on Facebook.
Musa Abdulkader.
Okay, can you spell it for us?
Musa Musa Abdulkadir Salame. Musa Abdulkadir Salame.
Okay.
That is my hometown. Salame there.
Salame. Where in Ghana is Salame?
Salame is not in Ghana. It's from Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria?
Yeah, from Nigeria.
Okay. And so you moved from Nigeria here?
I moved from Nigeria north.
Okay. Do you plan to go back to Nigeria?
I just came. I haven't even not reached 7 months here.
Oh wow! So do you have a branch? Do you have a branch there?
I have branch in my house, my family, and my everybody is well there.
So you come to Sege to come and work, and then you go back.
Yeah, and go back.
So for this period, how long are you going to stay here?
Now, I would say 5 months.
You stay for 5 months?
5 months, yeah.
So is it the same for everybody here?
No.
They travel and go?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then can we have a phone number as well? Put your phone number out.
Okay.
The best kebab in Ghana people, Sege Junction.
My phone number is 054 1616493. You can get me anytime you call.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Be sure to have a bite of the kebab before we leave.
Okay.
People, and so this is us. We are the famous Sege kebab joint. It's right there at the Sege Junction. One kebab is 5 Ghana cedis. So Eliasu is sharpening and shaping the kebab sticks. So it's a full market, busy day here at Sege Junction because it's a Saturday as well, and people are heading to funerals and events on the Volta and the Ada side. So we are still here at the Sege kebab joint, and we are going to be speaking to Mohammed. I've tasted kebab. I've tasted 4 of Mohammed's kebab. So you give me one later. So Mohammed, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Good morning for everybody for Ghana.
We dare dance, so make a try. Onge Saminga.
I'm very well.
Okay. So how long have you been here? How long have you been selling kebab here?
We are feel happy. We are doing kebab very well. People almost when in the job, they feel happy the way we are doing the kebab. So everybody want to pass. Everybody want to turn here buy kebab and feel happy. Feel happy. But sometimes Saturday, Friday, Sunday before you have more market. But Monday going, we don't have more market about that. But Saturday, Sunday, we have more market on that way.
How long have you been here?
Oh, I'm here born. They born me for here.
They born you for here?
Yes.
So, what thing you go fit tell us about this place where it be special, where nobody for this Ghana no as them born you for here?
Yeah, I'm talk about Sege Suya.
Okay.
Yes.
What be special about the kebab, the suya?
The special about kebab, it's a very nice. It will be very nice. People love the kebab.
Okay. Now, how do you go? Yeah, how do you get your meat and things? Is it easy? What the price they like?
Sometimes meat is difficult for we because sometimes we don't have animal to buy to keep. Sometimes when you go to market, the money you not reach. So sometimes we have like a 4,000, 5,000. We don't have that amount. Okay. So the work we need help. We need money to put in a business. Okay. Yes.
So if somebody wants to start a kebab business, say in Sege, how much would you advise a person to start with? What's the starter capital?
Okay. When the person can, we will see them, we talk about that.
Ideally, what would be the starter capital? How much?
At least,
want to start.
If you like the person want to start, and we will buy meat for him. Then we start the business small. Okay.
So do you train people as well?
We think the people majority do they may come to Nigeria.
You train people. You train Nigerians, or you train people to go to Nigeria?
The people came. The people, we train people this around here. They know how to do the meat.
Okay.
So when you need somebody today, man, we have to people take a go and they go do the meat for you.
Okay. So what do you want the world to know? Everybody's watching you now. What you want to make them know about you, your craft?
Okay, we need help to run away. We need money to put the business for people.
When you say you need help, you need money to put in. What sort of help? And when the money comes, where would you put it in?
I'll put them in business. I'll get people. I'll help them to the business. We will the business. So we thank God this morning people came to here, can do it before the whole world know what is happening. So we thank God. God bless everybody listening to me. God bless you people to came to here. We thank God very well.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Wishing you a good business day. 600 Ghana. Amen. And so there are some customers who are enjoying the Sege kebab. So mind you, we are at the Sege Junction. We are heading towards Ada. So we are going to be speaking to them. Greetings. Good morning. Please, my name is Valerie Danso. I'm coming from GTV.
I'm
Abilimpi. Where are you going to? What's happening there?
Someone died.
Sorry. How about you, sir?
I'm good.
What's your name?
I'm Gideon.
Yeah. Why are you going to say?
I'm going to a funeral.
To the same funeral?
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Mayuega.
What touch over there?
I told me Freeman.
Oh my boy, yeah.
Why just I was Courage.
Oh, sorry. Oh, funny. You talk better than your phone and your phone. I love first time in the phone. Yeah, try kebab. I love first time.
Every time must stop in and out. Oh, no, let be chairman.
You feel like he's the chairman for the group. How much do you spend when you come here? Because I hear when you're going and coming back.
Yeah, depending on level. When we're going like this, we take 20 or 10.
20 or 10.
But before you leave here, the taste has to.
Hey. Is this yours?
I beg you.
I'm going to take out.
Don't joke with my meat.
Okay, so what makes the kebab special? Why do you keep coming back?
Because of the way it's sliced.
Yeah.
It's well cooked. Yeah. And it's juicy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you like the price?
The price is very affordable.
Right.
It's meat, no bones. Yeah, you know.
So, how about you?
Good.
How about every day your kebab?
Oh, every day.
Can you about stop for me especially
what we say when I can special.
Yeah. Before I show that to you.
Oh, that will finish your thing.
The thing is, it doesn't even get to the destination.
It doesn't get. You are good. Freeman, go for it. You're low end. Yeah, no, stop or no, you're good.
What big I know, wait, you one check any piano. Baby, I got you, a commission. Bona. Kaji, you be a few. Oh, ever. Can you be a few? Why is there a few? One try I will know one I've been.
I wish I went on.
Oh,
yeah. Away a fun.
Like I know. No, I'm a real fan.
It won't come back. You'll spend
Minimum 10 sticks.
10 sticks?
Minimum.
50 cities, affordability. Come to Sege. Yeah, man.
It's affordability.
Can I touch your kebab? Okay, you hold it. You. All this. NFL 50 Ghana. Affordability. Come to Sege.
No, 4 bonus.
Plus 4 bonus testers. So you see, there's a reason. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Don't get jealous, baby.
Thank you very much, people. And so this has been our report. BFS Travels, Sege Junction, people. Hasta la vista.
Welcome back into the studio. So that's BFS Travels, and that's our visit. While on the Volta region, we did a detour, Sege, and that's the kebab joint. What's your favorite kebab joint? Again, let us know via our socials. As we said, BFS Travels has just started, and so we are planning to tour the whole of Ghana. We're bringing you interesting sights and sounds, food, customs. Let us know where your region is and what interesting thing you think the BFS Travels could come and highlight. And this is how we end the show. But today happens to be the birthday of one of our own, Lillian Owusu-Mensah. Today is your birthday. Lillian is beautiful inside out. She is lovely. She is all the good words you could think of. We like to call her the Mamaga here and the BFS. She holds the reins tightly. She controls our food. She controls our expenditures. This is Lillian, people. And so if you see the BFS live, she is a main force behind why the BFS is so successful. And today on the BFS, we are celebrating her. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our own, Lillian Owusu-Mensah, and we are wishing her a happy birthday. People, this has been our show. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, 5:55. In the meantime, across social media, our admin is waiting for you, so be interactive with him. Have a nice Wednesday. Bye from us.